Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.
Flight Sports TV, that's where it's at.
Flight Sports TV.
What's going on, people? It's Flight Sports TV. I appreciate y'all for checking with me. You already know what it is. We're back with another one of them things. Listen, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We got to discuss a whole lot of things involving Coach Prime, Deion Sanders. We all know there's a lot of things percolating. What's going on with CU, and we've been documenting it all along. We all know what's coming up ahead on the horizon. You have the situation brewing with Nebraska. Everybody's excited for that matchup. Seems like the money line has shifted. You know, everybody has shifted. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Prime has taken over sports. You know, let me break the news to everybody. Coach Prime is the biggest thing in sports right now. I don't think we've ever seen a guy who can walk the walk, talk the talk. I mean, just do it all. I mean, some guys, they talk it and they can't back it up. You know, Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, is defying everything. You know, he's proven to the world that his word is very much bond. And he has made a promise, you know, to Colorado, Boulder, you know, obviously the whole university, the athletic director, the players, the parents. I mean, this thing gets immense, ladies and gentlemen. He's definitely fulfilling his promise to everyone, you know, in one game. You know, I mean, seriously, it was so emotional. I would like for people to go back and watch Coach Prime in that post-game presser when he was on the field. You know, you could clearly see the emotion. We seen, you know, Rick George coming down. He's in tears, you know what I mean? So you can only imagine this was one of those kind of wins that can galvanize a team all the way to the promised land. You know, when you take out a team that was at the top of the food chain, I don't give a damn what happened when they was at the top, but they was at the top of the food chain, and Colorado came in there and carved them up and took them out. Now, CU got a lot of things they need to worry about as well. You know, obviously the offense is electric, you know, led by Shedeur Sanders. I mean, we all know what's going on with him. Tom Brady is involved. Pay homage. It's Flight Sports TV. Listen, make sure you subscribe. You know, also, you know, you have just a lot of things brewing. You know, there's so many weapons, you know, that's just ready to be deployed. And Coach Prime seems like he got his hand on the trigger, you know, in terms of he got his hand on the pulse of his team. He got his hand on the pulse of football. And I'm just shocked that Coach Prime has trailblazed this fast, this soon, you know, but I'm really not. You know, but I'm telling you right now, do not be surprised if this team does something unthinkable. And y'all know what I'm talking about. Everybody's scared to say it, but Coach Prime said it without saying it. Ladies and gentlemen, Colorado is going for the national title. I just want to let everybody know right now so there's no misconfusion. CU is going for the national title, you know, and it's going to be spectacular when they actually get it. You know, but we're going to get all into it. I got my man All Access in the building. Dex, talk to the people. You're live.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Flight Sports TV, the machine, the voice of the voiceless, the people's champ.
See
Mic
about this.
check, mic check.
You good? You good?
Yes, okay. The people's champ. And listen, shout out to the panel. Shout out to the chat. And shout out to everybody pulling up to Flight Sports TV on this wild Tuesday night with the aftermath of what was displayed this weekend on Saturday. Colorado Buffaloes versus TCU Horned Frogs. It was a grandstand event of magnanimous proportion. And Colorado is seeking to go 2-0 for the first time in probably 25 years to start the season. They're going to match up against Nebraska, which seems to be a favorable matchup for Colorado with all of its weaponry inside the armory of the Buffalo Fortress. Colorado is looking to explode for the second time and keep the naysayers and doubters in check, because we all know, Flight, that they're just waiting for Colorado to lose so they can say, I told you so. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's ridiculous how the people is trying to stretch the yarn for Colorado's success. They're trying to kick the can down the road when it comes to Colorado's success by saying, wait till next week. Wait till they see this team. Wait till they see that team. I mean, for crying out loud, stop it already. They already did the unthinkable. They already showcased an unprecedented performance, and you still waiting for the downfall of Colorado football. Such deplorable disposition from some of the people who claim they love sports and they have a full appreciation for collegiate student athletics. But we already know they're hypocrites. We already know they're hypocrites. We here at Flight Sports TV is going to enjoy, and we're going to celebrate, and we're going to keep pushing the culture forward with Black excellence. And for those people that provide an exuberant experience for us as we sit front row seat and bear witness to all of the allure of success and being a part of the winning circle. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, Flight. Do you?
Not hell no. I mean, how the hell could there be something wrong with somebody being in the winning circle? That makes absolutely no sense. Listen, the winning circle is in Colorado right now. Coach Prime owns the winning circle, and everybody knows it. If you look at everybody, even some of his notable haters, keywords, some of them, they all coming around and stating that Coach Prime, Deion Sanders owns football right now. College football, obviously we know the NFL is coming up, but even you got the NFL players just taking heed. It seems like basketball, every sport, it seems like it's some kind of, anybody could take something from Coach Prime. And one thing that people don't understand is, even if you're not a football fan, Coach Prime is a hell of a motivator. If you look at some of his all his social medias, is always some uplifting things that he's saying. So he can appeals to the masses. Obviously the hardcore football guys love him, because of what he has done. The kids love him, the young boys love him because Travis and them love him, Shador and them love him. The young kids look up to those guys, and obviously, I don't think we've ever seen a situation where this guy can relate from all genres, from the top to the youngest. I don't think we've ever seen it to the level that he can. He's a master motivator, a master teacher, and you see it firsthand, and they don't want to leave him. You heard the reports. Coach Prime, Deion Sanders came out today and stated that Travis Hunter was offered about $1.5 million, ladies and gentlemen. Let me repeat that. Travis Hunter was offered $1.5 million to leave Coach Prime Deion Sanders and not go to Colorado. That was the reports. But, Coach Prime Deion Sanders came out and said that Travis cannot be bought. Clearly they are building something that money just don't have a price on it. The relationship he has with Shedeur Sanders, $1.5 million just ain't worth it. So clearly it's something magnetic going on here in Colorado. It's clearly something magical going on here. And now to the game with Nebraska, like I said before, Nebraska is going to be a great opponent, for them in their home opener. I'm very excited for this game. I want to remind everybody Nebraska will be playing against Colorado 12 o'clock this Saturday, Eastern Standard Time. So you want to make sure you look out for that. Do not lose track of that game. It's going to be electrifying. I got Coach Prime in Colorado winning big time. Do not doubt Deion Sanders. Yes, what's your thoughts?
Yes, no doubt. We know that Colorado, Nebraska, throughout the history of NCAA football, have been a classic rivalry, and the history between the two has been solely decorated. This time, Colorado keeps the streak alive. They will go 2-0 for the season, and they will have 3 straight victories over Nebraska Cornhuskers. The last time these two teams played was 2019. Colorado came out with a victory. And the season prior to that, 2018, Colorado came out with the victory. So right now, Colorado holds a winning streak over Nebraska for 2 consecutive wins. And coming into this week, it will be 3. We know Colorado is now in the Pac-12 and Nebraska is the Big Ten. It still was a great rivalry when they both shared the same conference and they was competing for national championships year in and year out. Nebraska was the more formidable team with Tommy Frazier and company running that wishbone under Tom Osborne. But Colorado was always there to have something to say as well. I'm taking Colorado with the points, and I'm taking Colorado for the money line. I think Colorado coming into Boulder for the first home game this season will be dynamic. And I think all of the hyperbolic fanfare will be in a frenzy, and it will be an hellacious slapping on Nebraska, and Colorado runs away with this game flight. I can't hear you. It's like your mic must be muted.
Oh, sure.
Did you hear me? I think Colorado will run away with this game. So if you want to lay some skin on this and put some heavy chalk on it, I'm taking Colorado with the points. I think it starts off -3. It might go up, so get it wise low. And I'm taking Colorado for the money line. I think it's a -144. I just think that those are probably some guarantees because
you go, Ducks. I had a glitch.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Yeah, because Nebraska had a horrible time with Minnesota, and Minnesota is really not a very good team. And Nebraska was only able to muster 10 points for 4 quarters, and they gave up 13 points. So I don't know, was it Nebraska defense or just Minnesota is just as offensively inept as Nebraska was in their home opener. And I don't think Nebraska have enough time to turn it around to fix their woes, even though both teams are coming in fairly healthy. Nebraska do have one injury at linebacker, but the injury has been undisclosed, so it must not be that serious of an injury. But
Right.
Colorado is coming in healthy, and that's all you need to know. Deion, Deion, Deion.
Absolutely, Dex. But back to like I said, speaking of defense, you brought up something with Nebraska and defense. Their defensive back Quentin Newsom, he has some quotes. Today he came out and said, no matter who we go against, just making sure we focus on ourselves and what we're doing, getting adjusted to the pace, and being able to line up quick. Those are the main things. So these are the things that he's going to be looking. They're going to be looking to get into against the Buffaloes. Clearly Colorado is on everybody's radar now. They're ranked 22nd. Right now in the latest polls. So it's clearly they definitely rise. And now let's see what Nebraska can do, because clearly they're going to want this challenge. Everybody's so ready to crown Colorado. Nebraska might have something to say about that. I don't think they're going to have anything to say about it, but I'm just pointing it out.
Yeah, Nebraska do have a legitimate quarterback, a dual threat at the same time, but he's more of a legger than a thrower. So Jeff Sims, who is a transfer coming to Nebraska, will lead that offense or lack of offense against the Colorado defense, which has not been stellar thus far. When we witnessed Colorado defense last game, they still gave up a whopping 42 points, which is devastating. So if that defense do not show up and decrease the points differential, then it could be a long night for the Colorado Buffaloes as a whole team. And can Double S, Shedeur Sanders, and Travis Hunter duplicate the performance or come somewhat near that in Nebraska game? Because I think Nebraska will be a little more fired up than probably TCU, because now there's tape on what Colorado can do and what they probably most likely will do in game time situation. And we will see if old Matty can put up some type of a resistance, some type of store rate against the Colorado Buffalo high power offense. But that remains to be seen. And from the demonstration that Nebraska did put down Saturday, I don't know if they will be able to hold up under scrutiny when it comes to that Colorado offense.
Right. We don't really talk about the Colorado defense. They gave up a lot of points. The Nebraska quarterback, we all know what's going on with Shedeur. But the Nebraska quarterback, Jeff Sims, this man threw 3 picks against Minnesota. He's looking to make amends for his performance. So it's not looking good already. When you got the opposing quarterback throwing picks, it's looking like, I think it's going to be a runaway for Colorado. Guys.
You know what? Like I said, the spread was low when I last checked, but it could increase, because I think the Vegas odd makers, as this game gets closer and closer to kickoff, that spread will increase. So if you want to get in now, you better get in why it is, because I think this is going to be a runaway. Now, we know that Jeff Sims did have an awful display on offense. He did run the ball, and he led his team in rushing last game, but I don't know if that's going to be the mandate for this game, because Colorado defense do have some swarms on them. Them Buffaloes will swarm on you, and they have a lot of speed in that secondary. So I don't know how much Sims could deflect from that. And if Colorado defensive line holds up just at average, I think Sims will be scrambling for his life all night. And will he dare try Travis Hunter? Will he dare try Shallow Sanders? I don't know. Will he dare try deep and get Trevor Woods out of position? I don't know, because Minnesota don't have those type of elite players But collectively, Minnesota did a terrific job containing Jeff Sims in the pocket and not allowing him to slice and dice that defense up with his arm. So Colorado will have to decide what they want to compromise. Do they want to allow him to run and don't let him get anything deep, or will they allow him to not run and take a chance on him throwing the ball over the field? And if I was Colorado, I would choose the latter because Jeff Sims have yet to prove that he can beat you with his arm, but he have proved to some degree that he can be very dangerous with his legs. Like,
yeah, you're right. You said Shador could be dangerous with his legs?
no, I'm talking about Sims. We already know what Shador can do. I'm only talking about Sims.
Right. So you think the Buffaloes need to be concerned with him? I mean, you seem like you.
Well, you have to have some level of respect. You can't disregard a dual quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Because in the past, that was USC problem. A lot of times they disregarded dual quarterbacks because we already know Pac-10 is the conference for quarterbacks. And most of the quarterbacks in the Pac-10 throw the ball all over the field. So what USC had did in the past was built a defense to slow down the onslaught of passing yards. And then when it came to them playing a quarterback who was vicious with his legs, that quarterback dashed USC to death, and USC lost games that they shouldn't have lost. So I hope Colorado take that as a lesson and don't allow Sims to kill him with his legs, because it's heartbreaking when you hold a quarterback in containment and he has 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds extra to throw the ball and scramble. Is heartbreaking and deafening to the defensive line. And then as the game goes on, that type of deafening will wear down your pass rush, and sometimes they will even be hesitant because they feel if they give it all on the pass rush, the quarterback just will run right by them. And that's something that the linebackers and secondary don't want to be chasing down all game long. So they have to be very careful with Sims and his running ability.
Yeah, you're right about that. You know, Nebraska is gonna be crazy to see. You know what they can do in Boulder. That crowd is gonna be crazy. You know, at Colorado. Let's see. We all know Coach Brown will have them ready to go. I bet it's gonna be a star-studded event. You know, everybody will be there. It's kind of interesting to see because I think they had Yellow Beezy there. It's crazy to see them all. These are young guys, and they're able to be around, you know, artists, you know, that they probably listen to on a day-to-day basis and still go out there and be professionals. I think it's something. I think it's a testament to Coach Brown. You know, that they are so locked in. You heard Travis. He said he can run a whole nother game. You know, I mean, that's crazy. Did you hear
No
that?
doubt. Yes. Listen, he was ready. Even though Michael Irvin on Undisputed the next day after, that Monday, yesterday, he talked about how Prime threatened Travis Hunter that he's going to run him so hard that his tongue going to be on the ground. And Travis Hunter, like, I bet my tongue won't be on the ground. And Travis Hunter was right. So Prime gave him days off in practice where other members of the team practiced, but he gave Travis Hunter extra time off based on all of the possessions that he was a part of. And if I'm not mistaken, it was like 140 some possessions, and I think it was 129 snaps on combined on both sides of the ball. So Travis Hunter was definitely a superior utility man on and making an impact on all facets of the game, which is 3 layers of onion skin: offense, defense, and special teams. So we're going to see how impactful Travis Hunter will be. Will Matty try him and think that he's fatigued and not ready to perform in this contest, or will they stay away from him and Shiloh gets all of the reps and passes thrown his way, because maybe Shiloh, because he did miss a couple of tackles and missed a couple of assignments, but he did lead the team in tackles. So let's see if Shiloh will sew up some of those mishaps and have a stellar game his second time around.
Yeah. You said Shiloh?
Yes.
Yeah, what did you think making his performance?
Well, I think he had a good performance for his first time playing in that Power Five. You know what I mean? He's younger, and I just think that Deion threw him in the fire and said, "Let's go." You train for this. You know what I'm saying? This is what you want. So let's go for it. And sometimes a little nerve set in and things of that nature. He plays the opposite side of Travis Hunter, so the big time DB that's in college football right now. So it was some pressure on him, and I think that he overcame a lot of it, even though he might have had a couple of missed tackles here and there. But nevertheless, he overcame, and he had a pretty good game as well.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be pivotal. What's up with Colorado's defense though? Is that something that's alarming?
Yes, when you come into that category of charming versus alarming, I will put it more on the ledger of alarming because even though TCU lost that game, they did take the lead. And if it wasn't for the heroic acts of Double S, Shedeur Sanders, we probably would be talking different tonight. He's even though that defense basically, surrendered that game. I mean, they had 2 interceptions, but still, they basically surrendered that game. But one thing I always give when I play high school football, we didn't have the best of defense, right? But because we lacked discipline, you know what I'm saying? We was a bunch of knucklehead Negroes just lacking discipline, just thinking that we was fast and, we could just, track me out everybody. And that wasn't the case because we played against a lot of disciplined teams and they took advantage of our lack of direction based on our speed. They did a lot of misdirection and we weren't disciplined enough. But that defense reminded me somewhat of our high school defense. A lot of good athletes with superior talent, but the discipline was not there. You had people missing their assignments and their gaps and allowing running backs to get out there and break yards. Or the quarterback they knew he was a dual threat, even though he didn't show it. But that quarterback is a dual threat. And the linebacker that supposed to spy him went out to the tight end and missed that assignment. And then that quarterback ran the ball in for a touchdown, untouched, unscathed. That's something that's not supposed to happen. And Deion, I know, was ticked off about that because when that quarterback leaves that pocket, somebody should have a helmet on that quarterback's shoulders or have a helmet on that quarterback elbow. And that didn't happen. And I think Deion will probably fix that in this go around because they know they're facing a quarterback that can run the ball. So that defense just have to trust the process and stay in their lane and be disciplined because sooner or later that ball is going to come that way and they're going to have to lay hat to helmet in a volatile manner to cause a hell of a collision and hopefully eventually knock the ball out of the player's hand and then they can have a turnover. So that's the only thing I felt. The defense was a little over anxious, trying to make plays and trying to be the hero. And they, gave up a lot of unnecessary yards on possessions that they needed to stop them. But nevertheless, when it came time for them to stop it on 4th and 9, that defense stopped it. And like our coach used to tell us, it only takes one play on defense to turn the game around or to win the game. Who's going to make that play?
Yeah, man, you're right about that. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to make that play this Saturday. There's a lot of big games on the horizon. It seems like this is what Deion wanted, though. That's what it looks like. This is what he's instilling on the players. They want the games. You heard Shedeur say he don't really look at names. He don't look at this. He don't look at that. So clearly he's ready. He's built for these games and moments that he has been thrusted into. He's not going to get rattled. Because that crowd is going to be raucous. So at least I know they won't get rattled. Do you think the crowd could play a major part in this game against Nebraska? What do you think?
No doubt. Nebraska has to be prepared for this hostile environment. Colorado Boulder at one point was a very, very difficult place to play and win because of the altitude and the attitude of that fan base, the 12th man. That was one of the first places I saw where the 12th man was used back in the day, and I'm talking about in the late 80s and early 90s, where they used to hurl the 12th man up in Boulder. I don't know if a lot of people remember that. And then it just, start spreading, around to the NFL and everywhere else. You know what I'm saying? And so that 12th man up in Boulder is really serious. So I believe that Nebraska could be in over their heads and the game could be over early. Now, you mentioned Double F, Shedeur Sanders. Can he be rattled? No, I think he's well prepared for these moments. Jackson State was a perfect training ground for Shedeur Sanders with the crowd and the pro crowd and the anti-crowd. You know what I'm saying? So those crowds that cheered against him in the opposing stadium and the crowd that cheered for him during his home games prepared him for this moment. So I believe he would keep his poise. You see what he did in Dallas-Fort Worth, even though that's his home. He grew up in that area. You follow what I'm saying? Because his dad played football for the Dallas Cowboys, and he grew up in that area. So, and that's probably where he's from, if I'm not mistaken. He's from Dallas, Texas. So that crowd didn't ruffle his feathers. But we have to see when he get outside of familiar territory and get out on the real terrain of college football and go into hostile environment. But in Boulder, Colorado, no, he's going to have all the support he needs, and that fanfare frenzy is going to provide him the frequency to have another stellar game against Nebraska.
Yeah, it's gonna lead to many stellar games, not just against Nebraska. They got an upcoming game against USC. It's going to be spectacular. I think that every game that's on the schedule for Colorado Buffaloes will get even more immense and immense and immense. I think that the next game is always going to be the biggest game. After this they got CO State, and then they got Oregon. Now Oregon and USC game. I mean, the game's about to get electric. What do you think about some of these games they got on the horizon? Against Oregon and USC.
Well, before we even jump to that conclusion, we cannot overlook the opponents that they have to face prior to those heavyweight matchups in the Pac-12. You gotta take care of Nebraska, take care of everybody's in front of you, and then you gotta take care of that rivalry. I forgot the name of that rivalry they have up in Colorado Springs, in Boulder, Colorado, between the two. They have I don't know if it's a bell or something they got up there that they fight over. So you got to be careful for that, because those Colorado State Rams, they're going to be, hyped up and ready to play as well. So we got to see how they get past them, because that Colorado State rivalry could be a trap game. And so Colorado University has to be careful that they don't fall prey to the trap game going into playing Oregon. They can't just try to play it easy and say, well, we're going to play the Colorado State easy, just barely leak out with a win and keep all of our energy and our stamina for Oregon. Because Oregon is a high power offense as well, maybe the number one offense in college football right now. The quarterback Bo Nix is a transfer from Auburn. And, he had a name also. And I think that he want to make a name for himself to resurface back to, the forefront of the conversation, Bo Nix up there in Eugene, Oregon. So you can't overlook those teams. Oregon scored 81 points their last time out. So that offensive outfit is, that's a well-oiled machine. 81 points, they almost scored 100 points tonight.
Yeah, good call, Dex. College football is definitely getting even more electric. with the arrival of Coach Prime, in Boulder. Did you expect it to have this media effect? Because it seemed like it's Jackson State, like 2.0. What you think?
I think it's way bigger than Jackson State. I think it's Jackson State times 20 because you got the massive media. With Jackson State, you had a portion of the media. Now everybody's talking. I'm talking about the YouTube media. I'm talking about the Twitter. I'm talking about social media, all platforms of social media. And then you have, like I said, the YouTube landscape. Everywhere you look is Colorado. So everybody's raking in. Even the bigger platforms that got 800-some thousand subscribers is putting out content on Colorado. You follow what I'm saying? And Deion Sanders. And back to back. So they know that Deion Sanders represents a money bag. You know what I'm saying? And they know that all of the hoopla surrounding Deion Sanders that made him so controversial is based on the braggadocious nature of the Neon Deion and the prime time persona. So that right there in itself galvanized those for and those against. And those against are making content and still making money on their content because some people want to hear the other side, right? Everybody don't want to hear the glory, the story that's famed and wrapped up in success. Some people want to hear the negative. Some people want to hear the denigrating side. Some people want Deion in Colorado Buffalo to be decapitated because there's other teams on the collegiate landscape and their fans are like, why everybody talking about Deion? He ain't won nothing. What about Georgia? Georgia just won. Talk Kirby Smart. What about Nick Saban? Okay, he was almost there. What about Harbaugh? Harbaugh was almost there. You already seen what he did to Sonny Dykes. So he's basically removed himself by the performance of TCU losing that game and everybody that was riding with TCU. So they down on him right now. So they are even out of the top 25. I mean, that is a precipitous drop from 17 all the way down to out of the top 25. And Colorado 1-11 last season. Now they have surged into the top 25, albeit towards the bottom, which is justified. If they win against Nebraska, they probably would be in the top 15. So everybody's not happy for Colorado based on the nature of competition. That's fair. But when you start having vitriol and having unjustified attacks on Deion, then I don't think that's fair. Because Deion ain't did nothing no worse than nobody else have done. You know what I'm saying? We had a fight between, I'm talking about a verbal fight between Nick Saban and Jimbo Fisher. And there was a lot of hateful stuff coming out. And Jimbo threatened Nick Saban, said, I know where the bodies are buried. So you better shut your old ass up. Because I know where the bodies are buried. And you know I know where the bodies are buried. Basically accusing Nick Saban of running a dirty program. After Nick Saban accused Jimbo Fisher of trying to buy a national championship or buy relevancy into the national championship at Texas A&M. So there is a lot of hate going on in college football right now, but it seems they want to bury that hate and focus on Deion because Deion's a black guy. Here's a black guy with a lot of fame. Who wants to see white on white violence? Let's go after the black guy and let's make that controversial, whether you're for Deion or against Deion. Let's put that up front on mainstream media. Like,
Yeah, good call, Dex. What do you talked about the hate that he garners? Why do you think the hate is still going on, and how long do you think this stuff is going to last? Will a national title fix it? Will a successful season? What is it going to take for people to come full circle with Coach Prime, Deion Sanders?
well, as a former athlete, even though it was low-level high school, you have your team and you have disagreements within your team, And the coach's job is to manage egos and personality, which is a very difficult thing because a lot of people have different goals, different aims, different ambitions. And the coach have to really carouse all that and coalesce it into a cohesive unit and move forward to win games week in and week out. So the hate that comes to Deion Sanders is that he has vocalized his importance and interest in young black men. The very aspect of Deion championing the cause of instituting regiment in young black men, the same species that mainstream media castigate and denigrate daily. They feel that they taken away. They feel that Deion is trying to take away a dirty image of young black men that the media parades, and Deion's trying to turn it around and give them an alternative version of young black men, even though these young black men are in an environment that they're not really familiar with. So if you can take young black men and isolate them in an environment with good teachings and impress upon them a moral compass, and they excel with a moral compass. They're not lying and robbing and beating people upside the head and trying to cheat people and talking bad and, taking advantage of weak women. A moral compass, and you still win in sports. That's better than what Notre Dame has ever done for black athletes going to the Khadijah, or the Golden Dome. So this is very important. See, this is why I champion the cause. Now, he talks a lot of Christianity. I mean, I don't really, rock too much with Christianity. You follow what I'm saying? With the version that's out there. I don't know Deion version because I never really see him put it down like that. But the version of Christianity that we know, that's in our neighborhoods, that's in our churches, is not the version of Christianity that have turned our neighborhood into a resourceful environment, but created more of a plight for help and assistance. So with that version of Christianity, it hadn't did much for our young brothers and sisters. Deion's version of it seems like it is working with these young men because Deion is taking the Jesus factor from what I've seen. He's taking the Jesus factor and have internalized it in these young men, saying that the kingdom is within you. You ain't got to look out to space. You ain't got to look underneath the sea. The kingdom is within you. So are you going to bring out that kingdom? Or what kind of kingdom that you want to see? And these men are reflecting that because they have done the impossible. They have shook the world on an ontological scale. And that's what is important to me, to see these men fighting for something within themselves and outside of themselves and collectively for the whole unit. And this what makes it dangerous because this is going to go a long way. This is not going to just be a collegiate thing. When these young men leave college and go into the real world as grown men with bills, I believe the Deion effect will go with them as well. And Deion have shown them by his lifestyle that it can work being a moral human being.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's definitely gonna work. Coach Prime is definitely a great human being, like you said. He's definitely got some tactics that the young players can relate to, and clearly he has more players coming on the horizon. He's already recruiting into other years and things of that nature. Coach Prime is definitely going to spread his wings here in Boulder. How do you think the way they've been treating him after this? I mean, it shouldn't be red carpet treatment, out there in Colorado. Could you imagine how they're treating Deion right now at the university? What do you think is life like for Deion?
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. Deion is like this, from what I've seen, what I've spent, especially watching well off media periodically. Deion has created a heaven for himself. Deion has created a heaven atmosphere for all of the players that will come through Colorado and leave Colorado and go towards the NFL or the next stage in life, whatever it leads them. So the stage that Deion have them in, up under his stewardship, he's trying to create a heaven for him. And I believe that the faculty of Colorado with that state-of-the-art facility is facilitating that goal of Deion. Deion has instilled into the players an aim and a purpose. And when you instill aim and purpose and the young men who follow believe, it's no telling how far they'll go. Because that instills so much confidence in them, they don't see nothing that can stop them. They don't feel no kryptonite that's available that will weaken them and stop them short of their goals. That is what the Colorado University faculty members have laid out for Deion. This is your program. Do it your way. We're not. And keep in mind, Colorado has no problem with the religious factor. Some collegiate sports does. But Colorado don't have no problem with the religious factor. They had a religious guru there before. And Coach McCarthy had a almost like a 1,000,000-man march for white folks. Because that's basically was all there in Colorado. You know what I'm saying? Took them down to Washington or wherever he took them down to. So they have had movements, religious movements at Boulder before. So they're not strangers to that. And it's not too peculiar for them where they will deny Deion access to anything that he needs that will get the program moving forward. And he proved that yesterday. I mean, not yesterday. He proved that Saturday. And when he had his post-conference, he always asks, do you believe? Do you believe? And if you don't believe, he's like, well, what's the use of even, having this conversation if you don't believe? Just keep watching. Don't talk to me. Just keep watching. And then let me know when you believe. And I don't see no problem with that because that's his model. And that's the anthem for Colorado Buffaloes under the direction of Deion Sanders. So if he wants to use that as a means to get his purpose across, so be it. Because I'm telling you, he's instilling morality in these young men, and that's something that we need because we have a lot of hip hop right now just have taken immoral paths to sell records and to wield influence over our younger people. And somebody have to come in. I don't know who, but somebody have to come in and curtail that because it's just too raunchy. It's too obvious. They don't even leave room for mystery in their words in a lot of these hip hop songs. I'm an adult, right? I'm over half a century years old. And I'm not too far removed from hip hop, but when you come to raunchiness and the forwardness of the sexuality in hip hop, I just think it's a little too much, especially when younger people gravitate towards that genre of music. And so by Deion up there sending a message of morality, I'm behind it. Deion up there sending a message to attain your goals, dream big, have vision, and try to execute your vision through faith. I'm with it because I understand what faith means. I understand what patient means. I understand what aim and purpose means. So if he's giving this to the youth, they don't have to wait till they're 29 and 30 to figure out purpose and figure out direction and figure out, the good things in life can still take you far in life. He's giving it to them as teenagers and young men in their late teens. That's a wonderful thing. And they don't have to spend time in the future trying to figure it out where they have a jump start there at Colorado and with somebody who tenderly loved them and genuinely loved them. And he will be their mentor for life if they choose that.
Yeah, I think that they will choose that. I look at guys like Shador Sanders, obviously Travis. I can only imagine what they're going to be like at the next level. I would think that these years that they've spent with Coach Prime, they'll hold on to it forever. And I think it will propel them in their professional careers. This has to look good as an NFL scout, to see that these are professionals, Dex.
I agree. They're already professional. They have their NILs intact. So they're already getting paid for their services. I really enjoy that. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to the Northwestern quarterback who sacrificed his collegiate career to help initiate this aspect of college student athletics. Also shout out to the LeVar Balls of the world who helped push this narrative by the JVA and things of that nature, almost like college student athletics off the map if they didn't switch up immediately because the NBA got on board immediately when they saw what was coming down the pipe. But the NCAA, the old oligarchs, the gatekeepers, the watchers are very upset of what's going on in Colorado. And they feel Colorado broke the code. They didn't stay in code. They broke the code by giving Deion so much autonomy to bring in all these players, nearly 100 players, just through the portal. And basically wiped out a lot of good players that's in the portal. There's still players in the portal. But Deion damn near wiped it all out. Now, he didn't get everybody. A lot of teams got players that's in the portal. But because some of these players were still hesitant because, they still have the white man mindset in their head that, the white man ice is colder and the white man sugar is sweeter. So when they saw Deion, even though he's at a Power 5 and he's at a PWI, he's still a black coach. He's still a black coach. We can't get away from that. You know what I'm saying? We can't get away from that. No matter what uniform he wears, he's still going to be a black whatever. You follow what I'm saying? So some of these student athletes chose to go other places because they didn't want to start from the bottom. So that Drake song that he made with the anthem, started from the bottom, now we're here. It's perfectly lyrically designed for what Colorado is going through right now. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Because here is a 1-11 team. He kicked off all those players. And a lot of college coaches are ticked off by that. He brought in his players. Because now his players are what you consider loyal to him. Right? He didn't use the other coach players. Because the other coach recruited them. And the other coach gave those players promises and, and gave them his support and things of that nature. Deion didn't promise them nothing. And so they could be bitter. If Deion would have kept those players could be bitter, even though their performance was poor. They could be bitter because now they see their promises going down the drain because new players are coming in, and the players that are coming in is better than them. And the players that's coming in already have hype behind their names. So why keep somebody that's going to be disgruntled, that's going to be bitter, and it's going to be a locker room cancer? It's a possibility because these players that are Colorado, they was hoping one day they'd go to the league, right? They was hoping one day they'd be drafted in the first round. They hope that they would be what you consider lottery picks in the NFL. But now those dreams have been deferred because Deion let them go and he brought in a whole new regiment of talent. And this is why a lot of college coaches are perturbed. So this new talent that Deion brings in to the Colorado Buffalo, they are all basically submit to the "we believe" mantra. They submit to "we believe" mantra. Even Deion himself said, all of my players didn't believe, but now they do, because they came up to me by the droves, 1 by 1, 2 by 2, 3 by 3, tapping me, talking about, "we believe, we believe, we believe." And he said it almost brought tears to his eyes, because when you have that many people on a team who wants to be the best version of themselves, saying they believe, but yet they have yet to fully participate because you already have your 11 on both sides of the ball already in place, it's a wonderful thing. And the reason why it's wonderful, because they're going to support the starters. And then if one of the starters go down, they're going to be confident enough to be in place as a replace. So there's no hard feelings whatsoever because they believe. And that's a thing that scares a lot of college coaches, because when you got that kind of mantra and anthem resonating in your locker room, and then it showcases as you demonstrate on that tundra, that 100-yard tundra, other players who are disgruntled somewhere else might want to be a part of something that everybody seems to be happy about, gleeful about, aesthetic about. You follow what I'm saying? And they appreciate the camaraderie that is shown in that locker room. And this is why Deion is so transparent, is because he wants everybody to see this. A lot of coaches not that transparent in their locker room because, you know, they talk crazy. They talk crazy. They talk greedy to a lot of those players. They talk in a manner of control. You don't get your black ass out there and do this, I'm going to take away your scholarship. Or I'm going to bench you and I'm going to let the freshman play over you and it's going to ruin your draft status. You know, they talk all that type of stuff. Nick Saban is an expert at that. So Deion shows in his locker room. He shows the transparency. He shows how he deals with the players. He shows the hard talk and he shows the soft talk. And so there is no mystery when it comes to Deion and his leadership. This is what scares the college football landscape based on the transparency that Deion is willing to show. Because guess what? Deion don't have nothing to hide. He don't have no bodies buried. You follow what I'm saying? There's no ossuary in the silo of the Colorado University football stadium. You don't got Jimmy Hopper buried at the 50-yard line. You follow what I'm saying? He don't have any dirty deeds. He just got there. So he can showcase it. A lot of these coaches been in place for a long time, and they could have a lot of dirty deeds, and so they can't showcase everything because they don't know how the player's going to respond if you put them on live TV all the time. I'm talking about in the locker room all the time because there's some dissatisfaction amongst these teams. So Deion is trying to alleviate the majority of dissatisfaction that was there with Colorado last season. That's why they were 1-11, because players quit. They quit on the field, even though they suited up and they went out there and played every snap. They basically quit on the field, and some of them were just outmanned because it just wasn't good enough. He didn't want a part of that. He didn't want that fungus among us at the black and gold Colorado University. And so he sought to get rid of them. And he's upfront about it. Yeah, I'll get rid of you. If you don't leave, I'm going to make you leave. If you don't quit, I'm going to make you quit because I want dogs. And if you can handle my regiment, then you can have this residency and I will accept you because you'll be labeled as a dog. You'll be labeled as a leader. Like you said, Flight, in that wonderful video you made about the L and the D that's on the uniform. Leader and dog. Every leader ain't a dog and every dog ain't a leader. And this is something that Deion understands. So he has what you call organic leadership and organic dog with hostile intentions. Like,
yeah, good point, Dex. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Chris says Dex is rather passionate about Deion Sanders. I mean, there's a lot to be passionate about. Deion Sanders revolutionizing sports. I mean, everybody has to take heed right now. He's definitely instilling, the power and belief into these young men that is going to carry them into their NFL careers and beyond. I don't think we've ever seen a guy like him. Why don't we see other coaches adopt similar practices like Coach Prime? Do you think this is a one-of-one situation? Do you think it's other coaches that's trying to replicate it? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, I'm gonna answer the latter question first. Yes, he is one on one because Dion is iconic in his sports acumen, right? Dion is iconic in his play on the field. Dion is iconic with his off the field play as well. We've seen Deion Sanders in his reality show and things of that nature. He brought us into his home. He showed us how he get down, and he showed us how he was coaching his sons from Pop Warner all the way up. Y'all remember that back in the day, that show? A lot of people don't even talk about that. So he's been transparent. You know what I'm saying? There's no scandal. Well, maybe the only scandal you could say that he took Tracy Edmond from Emmitt Smith or Babyface. maybe that might be the only scandal that maybe you can come with. But nevertheless, you know what I'm saying? He has always been somewhat transparent, and this is what I appreciate. And what I'm passionate about is not Deion the person. What I'm passionate about is Deion mindset. See, he has a winning mindset, and this is something that a lot of us lack. A winning mindset, because we get so caught up in personalities, and when that personality let us down, then we fall by the wayside and we lose confidence. But if you get into a person mindset, then you can take the good and discard the bad, because we all know that as humans we are definitely fallible. We're not infallible as human beings. Hell, the earth is not infallible. Even how beautiful the earth is for us, the earth still has a wobble. So that means there's imperfection in the very blue ball planet that we live on. It has a wobble, and that wobble gives us the seasons. So I'm not looking at Deion as no idol worshiping or anything like that, if that's what you're trying to insinuate when you use the word passion. My passion is any human being, not no spook, but a human being with flesh, blood, and bones, who take on a winning mindset despite the impediments that have been laid in their path. And I believe Deion is one of those guys. Now, it's not often that we see it, but when we do see it, we have to recognize it, rally behind it, and support it one way or the other. And the best way to support it is, right now, is to be a part of it. If you're not able to be a part of it, then speak good on it. If you're not able to speak good on it, then support it financially. Buy some merch, go to the game, or something to that nature. Just be involved, be engaged when you have someone out there that's willing to fight against the old regimes. And I believe Deion Sanders is fresh enough, because that's what is wrong. If you notice about sports, that's what's wrong with sports. They're always recycling the same shit. And so Deion represents a breath of fresh air, and this breath of fresh air just happened to be looking like me, happened to have a similar skin color like me. So that's great. But even if he wasn't like that, even if he was a Barry Switzer type, I still rock with Barry Switzer. So how come I can't rock with Deion? And I rock with Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll was like that. He revolutionized college football at the time when he was in college football. I rock with Pete Carroll, so why I can't rock with Deion? Why is it so bad that when we want to rock with our own who are doing good, a lot of Negroes get afraid because they think masks are going to get upset if too many of us start coming together? Because we know that we have been psychologically traumatized through the annals of chattel slavery. And even when the Emancipation Proclamation was married, we still have received trauma based on the fact that we wasn't able to congregate. 3 or more black folks in one area, no, you're going to jail. You guys knew that was a law, right? It couldn't be two, three, or more black people in one area because now they thinking that you are talking seditiously against whatever authority that's in place in that town, in that county, in that state, or even the United States. So I'm not a part of that ilk. So when I see someone fighting and the old regime or the old oligarchs are coming after that person, I know it means something more in this meet the eye. And so that's when I support. That's the type of rebel I am. I'm not a rebel to be a rebel. You know what I'm saying? Or as Chuck D said, a rebel without a cause. No, I'm a rebel with a cause. I don't rebel just to rebel. If you do that, you a devil. If you rebel just to rebel, you a devil. I rebel when it is right to rebel and it's within accordance of a successful path. And I believe Deion represents a rebel who have laid out a successful path. How do we know that? Because the precedent was already germinated in Jackson State University. So that pregnable child that Deion gave birth to in Jackson State, he's now having a second son in Colorado. And this second son that he's having in Colorado is looking like it's going to shine. And when I say son, I mean both sons. The actual son, like the light, the sun, and son like a child son. So he gave birth and have had two sons. Jackson State, the light of the sun rays that was on Jackson State, and the sun rays that's on Colorado right now. And these young men is enjoying and soaking up that vitamin D as we speak. And they getting ready to kick Nebraska Cornhuskers in the tail and send them out like lame dogs. And Flight, for your other question about Deion, what he's representing, I believe that's what you're saying.
Right.
I just think Deion represents change because I'm gonna tell you something. Let me get a little spiritual. I ain't gonna get too deep, but listen. Anytime there's dissatisfaction, and we know in the NCAA landscape, and that's going through all sports, not just football. Football is just the number one moneymaker in NCAA sports. But when you have that dissatisfaction that's brewing, dissatisfaction brings about a change. And I believe that Deion was birthed into this frequency to bring about a change. And this is why a lot of coaches are upset, and some of them have shown apoplectic anger towards the situation that Colorado that is demonstrating right now. And when that happens, that's letting you know that now they do not have the narrative to shape anymore. There's an alternative narrative. There's an alternative way that you can excel. Just like with LeVar and the JBA, there was an alternative way to excel. All you have to do is demonstrate you got game and somebody will find you. And this is why some of the players in the NBA and some of the players are overseas. But nevertheless, they're getting paid for their services because they have been recognized all over the world playing basketball in the JBA. So now you have college football. You got people over in Switzerland having content of Colorado football. And then when you look at the rest of that content creator content, it has nothing to do with college football. It's mostly soccer. That's football. So this is the impact Deion Sanders is having globally, where you having non-traditional Americans parading and showcasing what's going on with Deion. This is the vortex he is operating in. And if college don't get a grip, I'm talking about NCAA football, don't get a grip, they're going to be swallowed up and left behind. The same way Pete Carroll did with USC is the same ingredient that Nick Saban took to Alabama. Don't forget that. When USC was rocking, even though they lost that third peat with Vince Young in Texas, but they was rocking. USC was never in a rebuild. USC only reloaded. Alabama, Nick Saban took that same formula. When Nick Saban could not survive in the NFL, he took that Pete Carroll formula to Alabama as Pete Carroll went up and started coaching in Seattle. He left college and went coaching in Seattle. Nick Saban took that and ran with it. And if you look at Nick Saban's coaching staff, you will see a lot of former USC coaches that came through that program. So Deion could be creating a new trend because we know it's a copycat thing when you're winning. Winning produce copycat. Winning produce facsimiles. So if Deion continues to win, you're going to see a lot of coaches saying, you know what, screw that. I'm finna go this way because I'm trying to keep my bag going and I'm trying to keep my legacy going. I'm not going to be caught up in that tsunami that Deion is quaking the oceans right now, and that tsunami's coming. Some coaches are smart enough to see it ahead of time and take advantage of it, while other coaches will sit back and complain and end up swallowed up by the wave that Deion is making right now. So they have to be very, very careful and very, very watchful as they are observing what Deion Sanders is doing right now with the Buffalo. Because I'm telling you, it is very difficult. I know Lincoln Riley did something similar to USC last season, but USC wasn't as bad as Colorado when Lincoln Riley got it. It wasn't as bad as Colorado. And also, USC have a talent pool to draw from in Southern California. Colorado really doesn't have that talent pool. So they had to get somebody pulverizing, especially in personality and charisma, to lure young men that's willing to be winners in a program like Colorado that's set far off into somewhat of a boondock. Because that's not Denver. Boulder is not Denver. So just keep that in mind.
Well, what's life like in Boulder?
Cowboys. A lot of land. A lot of log cabins. Log cabins. You know, they still have everything you need, you know what I'm saying? As far as that, but it's just a different lifestyle. You know? And a lot of people coming from the places that Deion had solicited his talent, that is weird for them. It's fun, but weird. You know what I'm saying? Because it's different. But Deion makes you love the environment because he is creating his version of heaven. And the players are buying into that because it's better than where they came from. And not only is it better than where they came from, by you being an athlete at Colorado right now with this Deion thing going on. That's what it is. It's a thing, man. With this Deion thing going on, you're going to have red carpet laid all over the place for you. And not even the black players, the white players too. You know what I'm saying? The Trevor Woods of the world. You don't think he's going to have the red carpet laid for him? If he don't have a girlfriend by now, I'm quite sure they stand in line for Trevor. You know what I'm saying? He's a white boy standout for a Colorado Buffalo team that's being led by Deion. So it's not going to just work for just black athletes. That's what I'm trying to explain to people. It's a frequency that's going on there. And if you can play ball, you're going to be able to play for Deion. And then when those NFL scouts see you, you might not be a first round pick. But when they say, you know what, we need somebody at this position, and a lot of the talent that we felt that was at the top are already gone off the board, when they get in that situation room, AK war room, they're going to say, wait a minute, what about this guy that played for Colorado? Because Deion ain't putting no slouch out there. Even though they had a lot of players that, you know, that was top notch, but this position right here, maybe we should take a chance on this guy because Deion ain't putting no slouch out on the field. So this guy really can play. We just ain't really seen it because he got other talent that get all the publicity. You know, it'll always be like that, right? And so that player can get that opportunity. Because if Deion doesn't showcase with transparency his format and his regiment, then that guy probably could be overlooked even going through the draft or even getting invited to NFL combines or training camp, et cetera, et cetera. So being there with Deion as he continues to win, even if you're not the star or stellar athlete that got eyes on you, by you being on that field and playing, they gonna know that you can play some football if Deion trusts you to be a starter or getting heavy minutes, whether you're a rotation player or not, getting heavy minutes during Colorado stages of success. We're gonna take it. We're gonna come get this guy, white or black, doesn't matter. And that's, to me, the importance of having a Deion Sanders, and especially the transparency that we see with well-off media that's highlighting a whole lot of things that's going on with Colorado, with the players, with the faculty, and with the coach himself, Deion Sanders, parading or leading the parade into a winning season. And let me say this, while I park this car, Colorado has already matched its win total from last season coming out the chute. They have already matched it. So that alone have already shook up the landscape because the overwhelming majority of pundits and analysts had Colorado losing that initial game, especially on the road. This what makes this so much exciting because he have defied the odds. And you know how difficult it is to defy the odds? It's difficult. As a human being, we all know it's difficult to defy the odds. Some of us don't even try to defy the odds. Some of us, it just relax in being content with to get along, go along. But then there's other of us try to be outliers and try to defy the odds, and we fight tooth and nail to stay on course because it's difficult. And Deion making it look easy because he's been doing this all his life. He ain't just all of a sudden woke up and said, you know what? I want to do this. No, this has been a vision of his since he had his baby. So I champion it. I love the journey because it is difficult to traverse in this atmosphere and to stay on course with all of the illusions and smoke and mirrors and all of the temptations that can steer you off. He stayed on course, man. It's like the LeBron factor. They stay on course. And that would make these human beings, because that's all they are, human beings doing wonderful things. And some of them are doing things that we're afraid to do. But when you are doing the same things that they're doing, even though you haven't got the recognition for it, you respect it. You respect it because you know how difficult it is to traverse in this journey to be successful and to be at the peak of interest and garnering attention and hand claps from people. And on the opposite aisle, you got the opposers, but you still stay on track. And that's because you have the focus to inspect, because you need these three elements. Inspection, right? Once you inspect, now you got to dissect, well, and then you respect. You inspect, you look at it, then you break it down, you dissect it, to look inside of it, to see what it's about, and then once you learn what it's about, you can respect it. And we all know respect means to look again. Read means again, derivative of Latin, And spec, another derivative of Latin specto, means to see. So you re-seeing it. And when you can re-see something, you have a general understanding of what you're looking at. And that way you can respect it. So if you ain't never seen it, you might be a little weary. You might be a little doubtful. But once you have seen it, like I said, I've been on this earth for over 50 years, over half a century. So once you've seen this before, you already know. It just might happen to be sports. It might happen to be business. But it's somebody being an outlier and not ashamed of being an outlier and being transparent with his journey so you can get a bar of it if you want some. If you want some of it, you can get a bar of it. That's the good thing about this. He's letting you see how I do this, man. This is how I do this. That's respect, bro. And he gets mine. Right?
Yeah, that's true. I agree with you on that, man. You know, let's see what this guy do. I mean, your life is not easy, but you dedicate yourself, and if this what you eat, breathe, and sleep, you're gonna do whatever it is to get to the top. Regardless of the naysayers out there that say you can't do this or can't do that.
Yes, Stefani, because they want to keep us in a box. See, I'm a rebel to the box. My life dictates that I'm a rebel to the box. Don't box me. And I know a lot of you out there. And shout out to that chat for that engagement, man. Keep up that engagement. But make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss one iota of an exuberant experience here at Flight Sports TV. Yeah, I'm a rebel to the box, Kafani. You try to box me, then I'm going to dodge you. Because a plant can't grow in the box, at least not to its full potential. Because once it reaches the ceiling and the plant realizes it cannot go further than that ceiling, it starts to bend. And when a plant starts to bend, that means there's no more vertical growth. It's dying. It's dying. And if we allow these oligarchs to remain building ceilings over our heads, whether it's glass, whether it's wood, whether it's metal, or whether it's spiritual, a ceiling is a ceiling. Then you're not going to grow vertically. Once you hit the ceiling, you're going to start to bend and bend and bend until you become a U-turn. And what happens when you do a U-turn? You go the opposite direction. And the opposite direction of life is what? It's death. So spiritually, you start to die. You start to decay. And this is why I love the outliers, because it keeps us evolving to a better stage and station in life. Because space is space. Space is infinite. You can never run out of space. And that's what they want us to be. They want to create a scarcity and make you believe there's not enough room. No, that's not true. You have to grow. People are upset because he left Jackson State University. And I understand why you're upset. I understand. Because you wanted more. There's nothing wrong with wanting more. But you should have to qualify for more. If you wanted more, when Deion was there and he had his gripes, a lot of it he kept to himself, and some of it he shared because he was transparent there as well. And some of you guys knew what was going on at Jackson State, but you kept it quiet because you felt you didn't want to air out your dirty laundry, which is cool. Then you should have tucked it up with the administration or the faculty. You should have rallied behind Deion because it's all about the students. That's what they say. But the way things go in some HBCUs, not all, but some, it's not about the students. They care less about the students. It's about them, the boule, living their lifestyle and continuing the cycle of having control.
in the good old boys club. You right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
a black version of the Ghetto Boys Club.
yeah.
Because we already know, to be truthful, let's be truthful. A lot of majority of the HBCUs was started with white liberal guilt money, and to some degree, they were separatists because they don't want you coming to their damn school, so they built the school for you. And then a lot of the schools are named after white people.
After the Jesuits. If you want me to go deep, a little deep, but I'm just putting it out there.
So
Yeah.
let's keep it a buck, right? Look at Howard. Howard's the oldest HBCU, right? It's named after a white general, a fucking slaver. So they are taught at a lot of these HBCUs on the higher level. A lot of them are Masons. A lot of them are Masonics, right? So that's kind of
That's no
iffy right there.
secret. Hey, I mean, you probably know this better than I do. This no secret. You know a lot
Right,
of these places are Masonic. I mean,
right. But that's what I'm saying. That's
yeah.
iffy right there. Why you have to be a part of a secret order? You know what I'm saying? We already know a lot of them are from fraternities. Greek is all this white oriented mindset. You know, where are the chemists? Where are the Hebrew Israelites? Why they not running these things? Where are the Muslims? You follow what I'm saying? You get it? Where are some of the black thoughts? Where the black think tanks are at? Why they not a part of this thing?
You know what,
And
Dex?
why
Yeah.
finance is, hold on one second, and why the science of finance in agriculture is
Uh-huh.
not one of the mainstays in these HBCUs. Because we know we need money, we know we need land, and you know you need somewhere to grow your food so you can feed yourself.
That's true. That's what I
So
was saying.
let's not really start, trying to make it seem like he deserted black folks when he left Jackson State University. Because we already know Jackson State has its own controversy from the top. They have controversy from the top. We're not gonna get into that because I'm not here to exfoliate any black person right now. But we know that Jackson State University have its issues. Prime talked about some of them issues, especially when it's time to negotiate for the big money. He said they were putting people in place that wasn't qualified to negotiate the big money. And he said that has to stop. Now people are pissed at Prime because they said, man, you talking too much. Wait a minute. You said you lacking money. You said you need funds. So let's put people in place that know how to talk for these funds. Because you can get the money out of them if you say the right things. You can't be afraid to talk for your worth. If you're afraid to talk for your worth, then somebody will always devalue you and give you less when it comes to the penny on the dollar. And this is what Prime was talking about. Know your worth. A lot of us say this on an entrepreneurial level. And a lot of us come out of the HBCUs, we try to be entrepreneurs because we know that coming out of HBCUs, they ain't respecting that degree. Like from PWI. They ain't respecting that like that. So a lot of us go into entrepreneurship to justify our studies, our time in college. And we know how difficult entrepreneurship is because you're depending on the demographics that you are targeting to support your services and support your services in a way that you are valued because it's hard to produce. It's not that easy to produce when you're in a capitalist society and everybody's trying to produce.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going to make you stand out? So this is why I'm saying why people have so much vitriol towards Deion when he's a standout. Now you say, well, you ain't doing nothing for me. Well, what are you doing for yourself? Just like we talked about, listen, Flight got a really good video out there, new video, dealing with Reverend Kevin W. Cosby versus Deion Sanders and the hate that he spewed out towards Deion, saying that he hoped Deion fails at Colorado. And now this statement have resurfaced because a lot of people wanted to bury it because it was so absurd for another black man in a position of influence in leadership petitioning the failure of another black man in
Yeah,
position of leadership and influence.
that don't make
And,
no
and
sense. Yeah, at
yeah, it don't
all.
make no sense, Capani. Did you see the video? Flight got it out. Y'all check that video out, man. Go support it. It's good information in there. So the thing of it is this: the Reverend, who's a president of the HBCU in Kentucky. I'm not going to even mention the university as the president. You can go find that out yourself. He also is a reverend, so he has a pulpit that he can spew from, and he has turned that pulpit into a bully pulpit. What is a bully pulpit? A bully pulpit is when you can spew what you spew, but nobody's contesting you because it's a solo act, right? He's not on no open panel where he could be questioned or he could be debated or the discussion could be two-way discussion. But no, a bully pulpit is a one-way discussion. There's no retort. You hear it, either you accept it or you reject it. But you hear it. And there's no other side to hear. That's a bully pulpit. So he's on his bully pulpit and he's talking about Deion departing from Jackson State, and he labeled Deion as a sellout. And not only did he label Deion as a sellout, he said he hopes that Deion fails in his endeavors at the University of Colorado. Now, why do I have a problem with that? First of all, you don't wish no other black man fail, especially when he has other young black men going on the journey with him. First of all. Now, if Deion just went and became a desk jockey at the Colorado University, okay. If you want to say you wish he failed, that's something different. But he brought a plethora or a congregation of former Jackson State University players along with him, plus players that come out of the transfer portal who looking to see a better situation. And they felt the situation was in Colorado with Deion, other young black men. And you want him to fail? So you want him and all those 80-something black men to fail as well? 80 young black men have the potential to change their communities, their family, and secure generational wealth. But you want them to fail? That's deplorable. How dare you, Mr. Reverend? This is how bad things get when you have self-hate. And you have self-hate in a position of influence in leadership. You have to check yourself, Reverend W. Cosby. And I hope the W stands for winning. Because if that W stands for winning, then what you need to do is go back and retract, repudiate, and disavow yourself from that statement mentioning that Deion fails. It's not fair to the young black men who have taken their talent to Colorado and whose parents have allowed them to traverse across the country to Colorado from as deep down as Florida to be up there under Deion's stewardship and the other coaches as chaperones for these young men's future and to help them complete the journey into the NFL or wherever they choose to go in life. Because everybody don't go to the NFL. They know this. But wherever they go, as personal trainers, as app developers, as entrepreneurs, as political figures, grassroots in their community, why do you want these 80 young men to fail? That's ludicrous. You're not thinking, buddy, because you allowing your jealousy to turn into envy. And when you get to the point of envy, that's at the point of no return. Keep it within the realms of jealousy, because jealousy you can still get back. But once you allow that emotion to reach the pinnacle of envy, that is spiritual death. And now you wishing death on others, because failure is death. That's the failure he's talking about. He's not talking about failure, then get up and try again, failure, then get up and try again until you succeed. That's not the failure he was referencing. He was referencing a total loss. And then say that's what you get for leaving these blacks and going up to the PWI. But yet he failed to mention that he brought blacks along with him. What about the coaching staff of Colorado? Those are not kids. Those are grown men with families to feed. You want them to fail and those coaches get fired? Now they're off trying to seek new employment? That's what you really want? Because these coaches were solicited from fixed positions. And Deion convinced them to come and represent Colorado with him. So they left their old job and went to the Colorado job. And you want them to fail because they were seeking. They were seeking a better situation. Maybe it was out of peace. Maybe it was out of friendship. Maybe it was out of camaraderie. Whatever it was a better situation. That's why they left it. Maybe it was financial. I don't know. And you want Deion to fail when he's bringing all these people along to start a new dispensation? How dare you, Reverend? And how can you preach to your congregation and you talking about failure? You talking about someone, you hoping someone fails. You praying to your God that someone fails. I hope your God don't answer that prayer. And I hope your God chastise you in a way that you know that you was wrong. And you take that prayer back.
His God ain't his God ain't God. It's other God. you know what I mean.
But and then you have other little black devils, because you got black devils out there too. Ride along with this sentiment from Reverend Kevin W. Crosby, HBCU president. Riding along with the vitriol. What happened to turn the other cheek? What happened to loving my enemies? That's what Christianity preaches. I'm not saying I agree with all of it. Isn't that what it preached? So now you're a hypocrite of your own doctrine. And people in the church ride with it. Yeah, that Deion, those sell out. Well, you got a white Jesus in your church. I'm not saying that reverend does. I'm not saying that reverend does. I'm just saying a lot of reverends got white Jesus in their church, knowing damn well that's a picture of Michelangelo.
Yep, I've been to plenty of them. I know exactly.
You can take that white Jesus and put him on a Harley Davidson, gas it up, rev it up, and shoot it out on the highway, and he'll look like a Hell's Angel or a Mongol, and you would know the difference. That Jesus is in your church, looking like a motorcycle gang member. But yeah, you mad at Deion because he left a situation that you felt he should succumb to better his situation. Not saying that white ice is colder, white sugar is sweeter. I'm not saying that. Because Deion was fighting tooth and nail for Jackson State while some of the faculty were fighting against him. How long will you stay at that situation? How long will you stay on your own job when you doing your damnedest to try to get the company running right, and then people inside the company is fighting against you because they don't want change? one of the things that dastardly affect human beings is change. A lot of human beings do not like change, and and that is not attached to a color, and that is not a stigma of a color. That's human beings. They do not like change. It's only a few in the population, a minority, who don't mind change and understand change is necessary and understand there's only one thing that personifies betterment, and that's change. You can't be better without change. It's not going to happen. You got to have change. And you can't be worse without change. But change is the only constant in the universe. And change is based on mathematics. You're either plus or minus. And that's rudimentary of mathematics. Addition and subtraction. This is why I support Deion the way I support Deion. This is why I support the mission and the mission statement. We're coming. They already came. Now they're here. So now, can they conquer? Can they conquer? That is the next phase of the Colorado Buffalo. And we know all of the haters and detractors and doubters, Kalfani and Flight, they can't wait till the next week. It's going to always be the next week until they see Oregon. That's a difficult task. Until they see USC. That's a difficult task. Until they see Utah. That's a difficult task. So you're going to take a 1-11 team and then give them so high expectations that you feel they're not going to meet. This is what haters do. This is what devils do. And this is why my daddy told me, boy, if you're going to make it in life, you're going to have to be 2 to 3 times better than your white counterpart. Why is that, Dad? Because they don't want you there in the first place. Huh? Now I understand exactly what he meant by that. Because he had to go through it as a musician, as a person in the military. You know, when my dad was in the military, with segregation going on. They fighting wars and segregated at the same damn time. So it's imperative that we seek to understand based on a rightful observation, not an emotional observation. We got to rise above our emotions. We can't have emotional observation. Let's have a rightful observation, whether it fits our narrative or not. If it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong. But right now, I feel that I'm right when it comes to Deion Sanders and the mission that he has for these young men and his intention for these young men. We all know Deion made the song, It Must Be the Money. Must be the money that's turning me up. Must be the money. We already know his youthful character. We know that Deion surrounded himself with celebrities when he played football. All on the sideline. MC Hammer was the biggest selling artist in America at the time. Sold more than Michael Jackson at that moment. 20 million albums. He was on the sideline with Deion, kicking it. So he's no stranger to celebrity and to the fanfare and to the attention. Deion said it ain't about him anymore. His playing days are over. It's about these kids. And I believe him. Someone have to turn the dial towards the kids and give them a moral compass. What's wrong with that? I'm not saying they have to be a saint, because I talked about there's nothing perfect in the universe. Nothing. There's nothing perfect. Not even your anatomical structure. It's not perfect. One arm is longer than the other. Fingers are different lengths. One ear is bigger than the other ear. One eye is straight, one eye is a little crooked. There's nothing perfect about you. But what have been made perfect is the perfect structure of your anatomical system to survive on this planet. That's perfect. We're perfectly made to be top of the food chain on this planet because we have the ability to have rationale. We have the ability to make judgment on everything that's beneath us. You don't see monkeys building cages for humans, or humans build cages for monkeys. You don't see dolphins, as smart as dolphins and horses are. You don't see them building contraptions for humans, but humans build contraptions for them. So we're top of the food chain. That's the perfection that we are made to survive in this environment. But the imperfection is that we continue to evolve. And by we continue to evolve is because we learn from what doesn't work and try to implement what does work moving forward. That's a God-given ability that we inherently possess. It's the ability to adjust and survive. Deion Sanders, I believe, is representing that, and he's going to instill that kind of a mindset into his Colorado Buffalo players to adjust and survive the encounters that they face for 12 weeks. And hopefully, after that 12 weeks is up, they qualify to extend their season into a bowl game. Or even better, qualify for the college football playoff scenario and have an opportunity to win a championship, which nobody saw coming from previous seasons at Colorado. And I'm talking about 20 previous seasons at Colorado. You feel me, Kafani?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I'm glad because, this guy stands up because, see, they don't want change and they hate when the brother comes along and try to go against the grain. You know what I'm saying, Rich? Like that. Like, I never finished college. It's like they used to try to instill that back you was in, elementary and, say high school and shit like that. Oh, you got to get a job and work to your retirement? Okay. But I never believed that because I believe in entrepreneurship because I was always do think outside the box. Got to be kind of unorthodox, I'm one of them people that believes in going against the grain and being stand up. And I like Deion Sanders for doing what he's doing because ain't too many guys before him did it, or if they did, they never got this close as he doing now, in this situation.
And yeah, and that's why this is a special thing for the Colorado Buffaloes. They went out, the AD went out on the limb. He brought Deion a breath of fresh air, new blood into the collegiate football circuit, and Deion is making the best of the opportunity. And not only did Deion come, he brought his congregation with him. So everybody feels secure in their lane, in their mission, and in their job to execute to bring out a W before receiving an L.
Yeah, man, and that veteran, like I said, everybody, and also let's ladies and gentlemen, let's be clear on something. Everybody that's a reverend or the pastor, some people been sent by the devil. Okay, and doing really, and I know that's for a fact. Some of these people are not God sent because a real pastor, God, saying the Almighty God is the one that had to make a person into that person because it make you into that. You just can't just wake up one day or go up one day. I want to be a pastor. No, it doesn't work that way. In that sense, you know. But yeah, man, I think that guy was paid to say this stuff like black on black, man. Brother hating on another brother. That shit needs to stop. And this ain't the first time. It's been going on for decades, and this shit got to stop. Really, it does. Because I'm not like I said. I know I ain't trying to play the race card, but if this was a white man up here, he wouldn't be getting that same criticism that Deion Sanders is getting, or the same flat, so to speak. And I'm just keep it 100 on that. You know.
No Graham, the brother on the left, that's Jeff Sims, the quarterback for Nebraska. That's who Colorado have to stop. He's recognized or scouted as a dual threat. Last game he wasn't a dual threat; he was a single threat, and he did some damage with his leg, but he came up short with his arm with 3 interceptions versus Minnesota. So Nebraska Cornhuskers is looking to change that around, and hopefully Jeff Sims will have a better passing day than he did in his opening disappointment against Minnesota, in which they took a loss. Uncle Vern is on the panel. How you doing, Uncle Vern? Salute.
All right, salute, Dex. What's going on, Dex? All right, I see it. Hey,
What's
you
up,
say?
Vern? What's good, Richard?
Can you turn
What's
your
going
mic up,
on?
Uncle Vern?
Who is that? Who is that? Chance? Who is
Nah,
that?
that's Stefani. That's
That's
Stefani. But turn
Stefani.
your mic up,
All
Uncle
right.
Vern.
Hey,
Turn your mic up.
let me tell you, Fonny. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hey, somebody, you always get your voice mixed up with Chance.
Uncle Vern, turn your mic up, please. Your mic is
Yeah.
low.
All right. Is it low now?
That's better.
Okay, that's good, Dex. All right. What y'all talking about tonight, Dex?
Oh, we're just speaking about Colorado and the upcoming game against Nebraska, and we was talking about how Reverend Kevin W. Cosby wanted Deion to fail.
Okay. Yeah.
He's a president of the HBCU.
Who wanted Deion to fail?
He's a president of the HBU in Kentucky. I'm not going to mention the college name, but he's a president of the HBU in Kentucky, and his name is Reverend W. Crosby.
Right.
He's a reverend and he's a president of the HBCU, and
Right.
he said Deion will fail at Colorado.
Yeah. Hey, Dex, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you something, and you can probably understand this. The HBCUs aren't built for inspiring athletes to come out of there, right? You understand that? Kind of understand that, right? You understand the reason why, because it don't shows a lot of attention, and it's not even built to be like that. Black schools are not to be athletic schools. We can agree with that, can't we?
Yeah.
Okay,
But
say that again.
Because
that's
they're not
true.
designed to be like that, because they won't go fund those situations like that. They won't address those situations like that. There'll
Yeah, we
always be second-handed situations like the basketball team, the football team, and all this and that, and they'll be going without because money don't be addressed through those organizations, those colleges like that. They money be going into the curricular.
Well, listen, I'm
I
gonna
don't know
tell
if
you
you
like this.
agree with
we
that,
have to
but if
change
you
that
think
narrative,
about it,
man.
you will see it.
I'm gonna tell you this. HBCUs, right? HBCUs are pillars for black advancement. The thing about HBCUs, where they changed from the civil rights era to now, is that once society had become lawfully or legislatively integrated, then the potency of the HBCUs had dwindled, had had decimated. Because now instead of the best that were born from our people had to go to HBCU if they wanted a higher education because of the Jim Crow law. Now they broke down the wall like Ronald Reagan said, Gorbachev, tear down that wall, right? East Germany, West Germany. And when they tore down the wall for the allowing of integration, then a lot of our sharper minds felt that going to those PWIs will allow them to have a better seat in society. And so a lot of our colleges were abandoned by the brightest of minds coming out of the high schools. And it relegated us to a secondary nature. And that's the problem. So when the NAACP, who was a big part of fighting for integration, right? Even though it was started by Jewish philanthropists and the first president was Jewish. They never really positively addressed the issues of HBCUs within HBCUs. I don't know, they could have did it behind closed doors. I don't know. I don't know what Julian Bond could have did it. I don't know if what's the guy down that's running for president? Chavis, Benjamin Chavis. I know he's dead. He passed. Benjamin Chavis. I don't know if he did. I don't know Kwame Nkrumah. I don't know if he addressed it. I don't know. There's a lot of members of the HBCUs probably wasn't really dressed down by prominent groups, the Urban League or the Rainbow Coalition of our own people. And that's why I think HBCUs went wrong at. When they had the opportunity to allow, not allow, but when they had the opportunity to have members of their sports teams drafted in the NFL or baseball or even basketball, I think they should have been pressed to some degree or given a full understanding the importance to give back. I don't think they did that. You know, if they were so busy trying to shake down corporate America, I'm talking about these groups, were so busy trying to shake down corporate America, they neglected to shake down their own people. Because we know now, that we have a problem when it comes to solidifying our financial gain and giving back to our own community. We have a big problem there. It got to the point where it's somewhat pathological. It's sickening that we have to beg some of the best financial gainers of our people to give back to our people. And I think it's sad and it's pathological. And a lot of that is because they are being steered away. Once they get this money, they are being steered away by having these financial advisors coaching them to invest more in Wall Street than in Black Wall Street. And now we at the precipice of damn near collapse, and a president that a lot of Black people disavowed had to give money to the HBCUs and give them enough money that they don't have to come back every 5 years after. But according to DJ Gemini, he said that they didn't get all of the money. And that's what happens. Who enforced that? Who enforced the HBCUs should get their money? See, what happens is, we know President Trump is not a liberal, right? He's a conservative. But a lot of these liberals who are somewhat philanthropic, they throw money at the problem, that the problem go away. Not fix it, but go away. That's the type of money they throw at it. Just go away. Just be quiet. Just go away. Take the money. Do what you need to do. Don't bring it up. And so that basically is given a rite of passage to misappropriate and not have any scrutiny for the misappropriation. Because there should be someone auditing these HBCUs thoroughly. And that's what they don't want. So they don't want, they fought against that. To see where the money's going. You know, the government appropriation committee, the state appropriation committee. And this is why you have this problem. And guess what? They don't care you have that problem. If you don't want to educate your own, who cares? Right? Because it wasn't too long ago where it was on the books that it was illegal for us to read and write. If we was caught reading and writing, our heads would be cut off, or we'd be on a noose, jangling, fighting for our lives. And if you happen to move a little too much, you ain't gonna make that. You're not gonna make that. You have to be blessed by God himself that somebody come along and cut you down off the tree and you still be alive. Just because they don't want you reading and writing. It was at one point, listen to me good, because I want y'all to understand now. It was at one point that black people were chauffeurs, were horses and buggies, right? And if you stopped at a stop sign that wasn't color red, you would be hanging from a tree. Because there's no way you should be able to read the word stop. You better run that stop sign if you want to make it. If someone saw you stop at that stop sign and it wasn't color red, that's your ass. These are the conditions that we had to fight against. And then we have HBCUs started from liberal philanthropists. And one of the things they do not want you to learn, because they didn't want you to learn no way, but they just had to help you get to some type of education because our population was bolstering and they didn't want us going into their university. So they built historically black college and universities. At one time it wasn't called historic. It was just called black college and universities. Now it's historic because they've been around a long time. So that, in a nutshell, we should have been fighting against. We had our own silos to educate our young men and women, even though the curriculum had to be approved by state and government officials according to the educational law. And then we know Rockefeller came in and he remade the educational system or the school system. And this is what we have right now today, from 6 to 18. But nevertheless, we had our own universities. We still have our own universities, but the love and the care is not fair. So these boulets are just raking in the money and living on top of the hills in the biggest house on the cleanest streets and trying to stay in power. And they don't want change. Just like the PWIs, they don't want change. So the mindset is the same, but it is in a different skin color. That's my point I'm trying to make. Not all HBCUs operate like this, but the majority do. And this is why you have HBCUs in Atlanta closing down. How the hell you have that? How? Bill Cosby was a big contributor financially to HBCUs. And you got them closing down in Chocolate City? Something ain't right.
Corruption. That's all.
Well,
Something ain't right. And so if you don't know the history, then people will play with you. Because Deion left. And they make it seem like he left those young men and women at Jackson State University high and dry.
Uh,
If you don't know the history of HBCUs, and I'm just touching the tip of the fabric. I'm not even going deep in it. I'm not even going to the solemn promise of not educating or teaching certain sciences, or they were pulled the funding. Huh? So you have to understand what he was up against. I'm not saying Jackson State University as an institution in name was against Deion, because I'm quite sure there's a whole lot of people love Deion there for what he did and what he brought. The people in the surrounding area of Jackson, Mississippi loved Deion while he was there for what he brought, because he was a financial institution unto himself. Jackson State selling out parking lot, vendors, surrounding hotels, restaurants. Can you imagine the millions of dollars that was flowing through Jackson State when he was there? And yet he still had to fight against the powers that be that's operating the institution, fighting off something that's good. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine being at a job and you doing everything you can to keep the job afloat, and then the very people you trying to help is fighting against you? Oh, you trying to do too much? Oh, you think you running the joint? This ain't yours. We was here before you, and we'll be here after you. Yes, we know that. That is true. But why make it a difficult situation if you thinking it's about the kids? Why you didn't placate to the success of Jackson State while Deion was there? If you was for the kids, you should have made it painfully obvious that Deion is a coon, is a clown, is a sellout, if that's what it was all about. But you didn't, because he's not. So you were the stone, or you were the hand to throw the stone, but yet you live in a glass house. Just imagine if you would have threw a stone back. It would have crumbled. A lot of the higher end of the faculties was focused on other things. Louis bags, Mercedes Benzes, islands in the kitchen, marble islands in the kitchen. Focus on other things. And the kids, the kids, do you think they want to lose their job because Deion is highlighting some things that need to be changed, and you are the thing that need to be changed? You think they want that? Making $80,000 a year, $150,000 a year, making $65,000 a year. That's a lot of money in Jackson, Mississippi. I was in Jackson, Mississippi not too long ago. It's a lot of money a year. $65,000 a year is good money in Jackson, Mississippi. You think people want to lose that? You think they want to feel that the money that they're making is undeserved because this guy Deion is coming trying to change things? No, they're going to fight against it. And sooner or later, the tug of war, someone will win. And it looks like the bad guys won. And now the students, the beautiful students, the women, the men that went to Jackson State on a promise that they have the ability to excel in a society on a fair ground, on a fair playing field. Now, some of that has been dampened, especially if you was a part of the football team. Basketball is a different situation, right? Track and field, a different situation. But if you was a part of that football team, then some of that dampened a little bit. Because if you notice, the eyes are not on Jackson State like it once was. And if you was for the kids, like you claim, the high-end faculty, not the everyday teachers, but the high-end faculty. If you was for them kids like you claim, then you would have fought tooth and nail to assist Deion into getting the program right, especially once you see he was digging in his pocket and having his kids out there helping.
Jack, listen. When it comes down to it, his kids, you say those kids, whose kids? We gonna be, I know Jackson take the players, the football players and all them, but he got two more other kids on there, especially the other, he got three actually, but he got two where he's real concerned about. And when I think he'll put those first before he put Jackson State, Mississippi State, or any other state before there. He'll put them first. So when it comes down to that point right there, continue to keep talking, but use that point in mind. Go ahead, Dex.
Yeah, I understand he's the father of two, but he told these are all my kids. When he hugged Travis Hunter, he said, "My son, my other son."
Yeah, and
So-
the girl and the daughters too, both of the daughters. Yeah, right. All right, they all of them succeed. All of them doing real good now over there. That's what I mean. You gonna move up. You gonna consider your kid. You gonna consider yours. Now he left that there. What's the name, Taylor? Because I tell you another example too. Since you was mentioning it, what's the name? Pope came on. So Pope considered himself as being an HBCU, not alumni or stuff like that, but he watches it. He said that he watches them. So I take his little word with it, and then the little crowd that he runs around with the reverends, preachers like you said. We just mentioned about one of them preachers. There's a couple of reverends out there to be talking real crazy about Coach Prime because of the fact that he made that decision. And that decision was based on his family. And you can't stop and you can't even go against a man when he do that. I can see him turning on God and America and the rest of the world. But when it comes down to his family, boy, I'm telling you, and they doing real good out there. So I think it was a good decision. And you can't, man, you just like you and the rest of the world, and Jack, I don't care if they Jackson or Jackson, Florida, anywhere else. They can't match that man about what he did. And like I said, he was very successful in doing it. He always been successful and always will. He just ain't successful bringing around a bunch of clowns. But go ahead, Dex. I want to hear what you got to say.
Yeah. When I mentioned the kids, I wasn't speaking about the football team. I was speaking about the population. Those men and women that's attendees at Jackson State. So they benefited as well from Prime being there, and they probably would have had, even though they was in school, they had the opportunity to be innovative and maybe come up with some kind of entrepreneurial creation that they could bring forth to football games and be a vendor and make money. Because he created, like I said, he was a financial institution all unto himself. So there was ample opportunities, because he was there for 3 years, for people to take advantage of the attention that Jackson State garnered every time those young men suited up in pads and uniforms to go out and try to, have something of service to those people attending those Jackson State University games.
All right. Yeah, I agree. But Coach Pratt did a lot of stuff down there, Dex. He did a lot of stuff in Jackson, Mississippi. He did a lot of stuff with the HBCUs, but the HBCUs go have to save themselves. So the reason why they have to save themselves, because really, to a certain extent, they depended on the government a whole lot. They depended on their own boosters and stuff like that. They all, their alumni. They really depended on that. But see, their alumni is getting real thin now. In the last 20 to 30 to 40 years, they've been getting real, real thin. And you understand me? And a lot of people are going to, especially, let's say not people, I'm talking about the athletic department, especially the baseball team and the football team and the basketball teams, the athletes. A lot of those athletes, especially coming up out of the South, are going to big universities, especially the good ones, are going to very big universities. And the ones that's not as good as the ones they are going to the other 4-year schools and stuff like that. So ain't too many people's going to predominantly black institutions. And the main reason why was because I said before, and you hit on it too, that money that's in those institutions aren't going to the football team and the basketball team like that. They're struggling. And they have to continue to keep struggling because they're not going to be putting money into it. And the money they're getting are coming mainly, like you said, from the alumni and from the U.S. government, and U.S. government can care less, especially with that situation that went on in Mississippi. If anything, they should be riding and want to hang somebody out there in Mississippi. They should be getting them for the right peoples, boy, getting the ropes ready for the right peoples. But they ain't gonna do that. So that's another long story right there in itself too, right, Dex? Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have to also realize that I feel that Jackson State, there's other professional ties to HBCU besides Deion Sanders. You have other coaches, you have other faculty members that have professional sports ties to HBCUs. I'm not going to name them because it's really irrelevant. But the thing of it is this right here. Jackson State had something special. And I'm not just saying it because the guy name is Deion. I'm saying it because of all the allure that came with this guy named Deion. How eyes have descended on Jackson, Mississippi based on his presence, right? And the rest is history. So what Jackson State should have done, okay, hindsight is 2020. You understand that. I'm not trying to be an armchair quarterback or armchair therapist, but I'm just saying this is just me from my observation. Once Jackson State faculty members saw the specialness with the presence of Deion and what he's doing and how exciting the population of the school is and how braggadocious they become and how much pride and confidence they were filled with because of the football team, sports. It happened to be sports. I mean, I wish it was science, but it wasn't science. It happened to be sports. That the faculty should have came into some type of compromise and made Deion a partner with the school. Because you don't lose with Deion. That's the thing. Because he have already shown you for 2 years that you can make money with his blueprint. He's shown you for 2 years. I'm not talking the third year, but for 2 years that he can get people interested in what's going on in Jackson, Mississippi. Because right down the way from Jackson State, you got Hattiesburg. And in Hattiesburg, you got Southern Miss Golden Eagles. So there's competition within a few miles of you. We're not talking about Sparksville and all that up there. With Ole Miss and Mississippi State. We're talking about just right down from you, whose population is greater than yours, and whose school is bigger than yours, that they should have made some kind of partnership with Deion, because when Deion Sanders was there at Jackson State, Southern Miss was suffering as far as publicity-wise. Everybody was checking for Jackson State. Nobody wasn't checking for the Golden Eagles. So you don't want that to leave. So if you don't want that to leave, don't hold your purse string so close to your chest that you don't want to share. You're being a greedy viper. Because the man have shown that he don't just bring money to the school, he brings money to the surrounding area. He's making the city of Jackson, Mississippi grow financially. And it was only going to grow even more if he would have stayed longer. We all know this. But you have to make it a two-way friendship. It can't just be all Deion. While you get money and keeping it close to your chest, your vest, and letting Deion spend all this money. You'd be like, well, if you wanted Deion, go ahead, you can get it. But we ain't giving you nothing. Because maybe they didn't have faith. They didn't have faith the kids can do at Jackson State.
Dex.
I don't know. I'm just saying. That's as a financial advisor, I would have said, listen, we can't let Deion leave. I mean, if the Power Five conference just goes so much over our head, there's nothing we can do about it. But let's put our best foot forward to try to keep this man in house, and we can get our money back over the long haul, right? Because we're
Dex.
going to get TV rights, we're going to get sponsorships. I mean, Dion gave them 8 sponsors, and when he left, they still had 5.
Dex, can I chime in?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Oh, this Hoop Jargon. Oh, shout out to Hoop
Yeah,
Jargon.
yeah. What's up? What's up? Man,
What's up,
listen,
John?
man.
What's up with it, bro?
What's the chat with a panel? Listen, man. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be direct because I'm a former member and coach in the SWAC conference. I know the SWAC conference very well. I know the fans situation very well. I know the administration relationship with the athletics program very well. I know the AD at Jackson State, Ashley Robinson, not very well, but I know him because we coached together. When I coached at Prairie View, he was working at Prairie View. I know Ashley pretty decently well. So here's the whole thing. The SWAC, listen, man, the 2.5 years that Coach Prime gave Jackson State, they need to thank their lucky stars they got that time. Because they didn't, first off, they didn't deserve it. Secondly, they don't appreciate it. And thirdly, now they kind of starting to see the attrition that's happening when you let go of a guy like that. Because listen, man, I be in these SWAC circles. I've heard people say that Shador Sanders was a bump. Like Jackson State people saying this. Not all. I'm not gonna put this on all Jackson State people, but people were talking like what you didn't witness was not a guy who's too big for your program. Now, not a lot of people talk noise about Travis. I mean, I think people universally understood that Travis Hunter was a gem, but they start to think like guys like Aubrey Miller who went to the NFL. He got a practice squad invite. Guys like Isaiah Bolden who got drafted by the Patriots this year. I think he just got hurt, so prayers up to him. Guys like James Houston III with the 4th last year, who came to the Lions and just the second half of the season was a sack machine. They think these cats grow on trees. No, they came there because of Coach Prime. So Prime put 3 or 4 guys in the NFL, right, in his 2.5 years. And when he exited out, I'm not saying all Jackson State fans were ungrateful, but a good portion of them were. And it's just frustrating to see because it kind of ties into what you were just saying, Dex. The administration, man, in the SWAC, they got this mentality like this mustard seed of hope shit. Like, and Prime is like, no. I need this done like right now. Like right now. Like not next week. Not in a few hours. Like right now. What's stopping me from doing this shit right now? Like you said, you bring these sponsorships, and I covered this on my channel for like 2 whole years, bro. Getting these partnerships with these dealerships, like either small, in Aflac, and using his tentacles to go everywhere. And they still didn't really appreciate it. That $1 million check that they just got 2 weeks ago at the MEAC SWAC Challenge, guess who was the liaison of that? Deion. And so I guess I'm talking more of a SWAC guy because I am a SWAC guy. I'm just really flabbergasted about how unappreciative they were of what happened. And that's why I let in was saying he was too good for that program. Because the mentality, I'm just saying to the listening audience, the mentality of HBCU fans, SWAC in particular, is you better do everything or you ain't did nothing. Let me say that again. You either did everything or you did nothing. And that's why this conference is going to always be almost, shoulda, coulda, we coulda got it, because the mentality is fucked up. So, excuse my French. And like you said, why not partner with Prime? Why not have the foresight to see that, okay, this is a guy that we can't pay to be here long. So let's capitalize while he's here. Let me extend the olive branch from the administration, and let's just show that, we want to learn from you. We want to usurp that knowledge, that game, and have it permeate over these other facets of campus. But knowing how SWAC people roll, administration and all, I don't like that shit. Man, he talk too much. I don't like that. I bet my life that was the sentiment. Because good old white boys don't like his shit either. That's why Colorado took a flyer on him, right? And it paid dividends. So it's just funny, man, how people will talk that talk about prosperity. They'll talk that talk, but it's almost like, yeah, I do greatness. Not right now, though. Deion is a right now guy. And that's why a lot of people, he misses a lot of people because
there you go, Jack. I mean, down
that
there you go,
immediacy in that hustle and that grind.
Yeah, shout out Hoop Jargon. Appreciate you for stopping by.
Hey, Jay.
Good point, Hoop Jargon.
Hey, Jay, look here. The thing about Coach Prime too, like you say, he's right now, like you were saying. But another thing, he gonna keep the main thing. He gonna keep the main thing just straight up, just stick right to that program. He ain't gonna change nothing. Like he was at Jackson State, same thing he was doing at Jackson State. He doing the very same thing. He keeping the same playbook right over here with Colorado. You understand me?
Facts.
He was keeping it straight and above, and he keeping it straight and above with Colorado. I'm gonna tell you, that's what I wanted to say too, AJ. I had said this about a week ago when I was talking with them about Coach Prime, and I said, look here, before they give Coach Prime nobody out of Colorado, they gonna offer him that athletic director job. And I'm gonna tell you, man, it's time to a certain extent. It's time for him to get up off his feet, and then he can get real comfortable out there because his celebrityism alone will change that organization just like it was supposed to be doing in Jackson. Man, he get out there, he be athletic director. They be getting All-American baseball players, basketball players, football players, anything else that they want to be coming through there. Plus, because they ain't got a baseball team now, but they going to the the Big 12. That gonna change the whole aspect of their athletic, the athletic department, if you know what I mean. And they hierarship up there is young, and then it comes down to the president. He in his 80s. He's about to be gone. George, what's his name? That dude, what's his name? The one that's hired Prime. What's his name? George something, Carl George or something like that. He is
talking about Eddie George.
Yeah. He's finna move. He's finna move up. He's finna move up out of that athletic department and move up further. That leaves open up for Prime within the next 2 to 3 years. They gonna offer him that. They gonna make sure they don't get him up out. They don't nobody come get him up out of there. Think about that. But that go right back to what you were just saying, AJ. That's why I mentioned it.
Wait. I'm mistaken. I said Eddie George. So Eddie George you talking about in Colorado.
Yeah,
you talking about George up in Colorado.
Yeah, okay. Director. Yeah, him. He finna move up just because of the fact that he made it work with Prime. He going up. He is. And Coach Prime gonna get that job. They're gonna get him up off his feet. They're gonna make him an offer. They're gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
You're damn right. And you know what's gonna move up? Ashley Robinson, the AD at Jackson State, who brought in Prime. Watch. Ashley's young, he's hungry, he has ideas. Watch where Ashley move up. I would say in about 2 years. Yeah. That kid's gonna move up. I say kid, he's a little older than me, but he gonna move up. Watch. He was a standout basketball player at Mississippi Valley. Like, he knows from a player standpoint, he knows from an administration standpoint, and he's humble enough to take in new ideas. Because if y'all remember, man, Deion was a flyer, dog. Like, the whole thing when he first got hired in 2020, like, well, he never coached college level. How y'all gonna hire Deion Sanders? And all of them look like fools right now.
Yeah.
But guys who are innovators, who take chances, like you just said, the AD over at Colorado, he took a chance in it. Right now, goddamn it, he put 10 on black and hit.
Right.
It's the millionaire jackpot, right?
Yeah,
man.
He made a lot of people happy. And AJ, this is why I like it so much, because I was around when Colorado at first jumped off and when they started getting good like that. They didn't start getting good like that till they got the brothers out there from LA going there and Stewart there. So they started getting them California players. It was old. Matter of fact, they was going black before all the other universities. The Alabamas and the Georgias and the Clemsons and the rest of the bums of the world was doing it. They did it out there in Colorado first.
Yeah, that's true. And check this, Bird. Check this.
I think Oklahoma about to get it first before Colorado.
No. I'm sorry. You check the record, Dex. You ain't have a whole lot of. You had a couple of good black players out there in Oklahoma, especially in the running department or in the backfield in the receiver. But as far as having brothers,
okay, I got you.
I'm talking about Colorado has brothers, man. That was to a certain extent. That was their down.
Yeah, Oklahoma just recruiting the skill blacks. In skill positions, you're right. Yeah. Colorado was putting them in linebackers and other positions. Yeah, linemen. Okay, I got you. You're right.
And then that didn't work. And the same thing, like I said the other day too, Dex. What didn't go well was that they had them black players out there, and they had a coach that believed in God. And a lot of people didn't believe in God like that. So you had that coach right there.
Yeah, I think that's Mike McCarthy, right?
Yeah, he turned out to be the best coach they ever had.
And check this. It's perfect timing that Colorado's going back to the Big 12 because Colorado went in the Big 12 was kind of an afterthought, you know what I mean, in all facets. Basketball, football, in all important sports. But the thing is, now Texas is leaving. OU is leaving. It's the perfect time right now to go into the Big 12 and be a big dog in the Big 12.
Right.
Because only team left is Oklahoma State. Really, Iowa State, I guess, you could say a good football program. Maybe Kansas State some years. But that's it. Like, you got U of H coming in. Like, that's a little dog. I mean, a big city, but it's a little dog program.
Hey, TCU leaving too?
No, I think TCU staying.
Okay.
That's a little dog still. TCU is not a big campus, man. Like it's a private school. First off, I mean it's good. I mean that they've been doing their thing. Obviously, they went to the national championship game last year, but Colorado could come in and throw their weight around the Big 12 and really like redefine how people view Colorado because they've always been a mid to bottom feeder in their conferences they've been in for probably last 20 years. So it's like falling together perfectly for Prime, bro.
Right. I agree.
I remember TCU. I think they had Andy Dalton, right? Wasn't Andy Dalton was the Horn Frog?
Yep. Andy Dalton was at TCU. Yep.
Yeah, I remember. Because I used to bet Andy Dalton used to give me money, man. He used to cover them spreads, boy, at TCU. Remember that? I think they went 12-0 one year.
Hey,
but they didn't qualify for the BCS or something.
Hey, Dex,
or 12-1 or something like that.
TCU as well.
Who?
LaDainian Thomas.
LaDainian. Oh yeah, LD. Yeah, no doubt, LD. Yeah,
that's TCU alumni as well.
Yeah. But I just remember Andy Dalton, man, boy, that little red head. He showed to make money, man. He used to cover them spreads at TCU. Then he went to the pros and didn't do nothing.
Sure. Yo, hoop jargon.
So, what's up, Flight?
I was going to ask you a question about Shedeur Sanders. What was your thoughts on his performance? Because I know you've been watching him from the ground up.
Man, so he's seeing what people who've been watching him for 2 years have been seeing. Because if let's take it back, year 2021, his freshman year, Shedeur had them happy feet. He would look, go. Deep ball accuracy, very inaccurate. He basically was a dink and dunk guy, which is fine. I mean, like, a true freshman playing, you're not going to expect him to have the whole game together. So making bad decisions, like he would hold on the ball too long and like fumble from time to time, scrambling, just when he should just get rid of it. Year 2, though, last year, Shedeur was a dog, man. I think he had like 52 touchdowns, like 4 interceptions or something like that, something to that effect. Keeps his eyes upfield, goes through his progressions, runs only out of necessity. Rarely turns the ball over. We saw that last year. We saw him and Travis hooking up, and the only time that Shedeur looked bad is when his O-line was not holding up. We had a run for dear life, and I love the fact that, fast forward to last week, that time when that rush came, he's so comfortable with the rush. You saw what he did? He gave him that Tony Romo, like, look, that little half circle, and the guy just dived all out of bounds. Well, not out of bounds, but he dived on the ground, whiffing. Eyes still upfield, threw that strike to number 10, first down. It was like a 3rd and 8 or something like that. That's what Shedeur Sanders is now. He can play up tempo. He can, he's comfortable in the pocket. He goes through his progressions. He goes intermediate, then boom, deep ball. Fucking Travis Hunter and Jimmy Horn Jr. both dropped 2 bombs, man. Just put it right in their bread basket over the top. So Shedeur has shown that, I mean, maybe with the work with Tom Brady he's had, with Russell Wilson, that he's a Swiss Army knife, man. It's like, whatever you're going to give me, I'm going to take. And I'm not going to press. I'm not going to play outside myself. I'm not going to prove I have a big arm and just be throwing stuff up the field and just hitting nothing but dirt. Because the incompletions he had, I can count 3 of them that were definitely not his fault. I mean, it's football. Obviously, you're gonna have just margin of error, but very accurate. Big arm when he needs to use his arm, but he's smart. Smart football player. He runs out of necessity, and that translates next level, man. I'm just extremely happy with where Shedeur is going, and you can see the progressions year by year. And he's damn near a finished product right now, man. I know it's kind of a hard statement to say, but I think he's NFL ready, man. I'm gonna just say that.
Let me say this. Well, let me ask, because I want to ask Flight this and see what Flight thinks. Hey, Flight, look here. Okay, now you just heard what AJ said, and then he just said he think right now that grown number 2 is NFL ready right now. Now look here, Flight. Look here. I suggest he stick around for the next 2 years, this season right here and the season after that, because right now, what's his name, Hunter can't go to the pros yet because this is his sophomore season. He got to wait till he's a junior. So Hunter gonna be there for sure for the next 2 years. What's his name? Number 2 can go right. He can go right after this season because they already want him. But my thing is this though: he gonna have a hard time beating this dude out for that Heisman. That's gonna be a problem right there. And then there's also another problem gonna be the dude that play on the same team with him is gonna be in the running for the Heisman. You understand me? So it's gonna be a competition thing with him like that, I think. And then again, he stick right around there because his father's there. If they can get them a championship this year, and even if they don't give him a championship this year, they can give him the attitude to come back and to get that. A lot of people gonna be thinking, well, he going as soon as he's after the season. I don't see that. Do you see it, Flight?
Oh, what'd you say, Uncle Vern?
I asked you, do you see him going pro after this season?
I mean, yeah. Listen, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I think so. We're gonna have to figure out and see. It all depends. I don't know if they're gonna stay with Travis or not, because I think Travis got to play another year, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, right. And I don't think you'll be Travis like that. That's my point. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's all up to figure out how they're gonna stay together. Because
hey, boy. It'll take you long. I hear you. And I think that's what he gonna do. Like, I don't think he gonna jump on the first thing, burn it like that.
Yeah, I mean, what y'all think? What you think?
I'm gonna say, hey man, y'all need to get that dough. Y'all need to get that dough. Hey man, if they offering you to be a top 5 pick, you better take your ass on, because tomorrow ain't promised. You mess around and roll your leg too hard, and all of a sudden you gonna be like, what's my man name? James White at Oklahoma, who almost won the Heisman twice. It's 2002.
No, Jason White.
Jason White blew his doggone knee out. He went to the Titans as a sympathy pickup, and he retired that preseason. Man, listen, dog. When your opportunity, I mean, listen, I know Travis is his surrogate brother. I get it. Listen, man, tomorrow ain't promised. If they gonna lock you into a top 10 pick, you better take your narrow ass to the draft, man. I get it. You want to pay for pops. I get it. But listen, man.
Hey, Jay. I think you really need. Hey, Jay. I think you really need to look at the endorsements right now. What he's guarded right now. I think you really need. And then think about what you just now.
No, I ain't talking about the money. I'm talking about the opportunity.
Actually, you talking about the security. It's security in the contracts just right there alone.
No, I ain't talking about that, Vern. That's on part of the equation. I'm talking about
right.
You bust your knee. You're not getting anything as far as your legacy, as far as you playing. You bust your knee. Look at Jadeveon Clowney got lucky. Now you mess yourself up, you're gonna suffer a lot of scrutiny, and you're playing the quarterback position, the most scrutinized position on the field. So if you have that locked in top 5, top 10 selection, it would probably behoove you to go, because you only playing with house money going down. Like, it's no point in winning a national championship in the grand scheme of things. It's almost like going to prom. Like, in the moment, prom seems so important. 5 years later, like, man, why the hell I go to prom? That shit was stupid.
Okay,
right?
with that kind of wheels, got the guy out there.
Prom was fun, though.
Yeah, it's fun, but like 5 years later, it's irrelevant to your life.
Okay,
in the moment, like prom and everything.
With that quarterback they got out there in Southern California, right? He just won
Caleb
a
Williams,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he just won a Heisman, right? But he's still coming back, right? Why he come back?
I don't know. I wouldn't advise him to do so. Is he a senior or is he a junior?
I don't know. I think he had to come back. I think that's what it was.
I think he's a junior.
Yeah, okay. I think
I
that's what it
definitely would
was.
advise him to come back. Like, damn, like,
Okay.
listen, man, it's
Yeah, I
only important in
remember
the
Matt
moment.
Liner did that. Remember, Matt Liner could have went out and he came
He
back,
should have
heard it
left.
stop.
He should have left. Matt Liner should have left. It's only important in the moment because college. I mean, listen, man. If y'all know play college sports, it's a motherfucker, man. Like, it's nothing in the world like being big man on campus where you put your little hoodie on with the school logo, with the basketball or football. You walk around and the bops, recognize you, and the homies come dap you up and stuff. There's nothing like that feeling. You know what I'm saying? As I lament back and think. But at the same time, it's kind of like Arrested Development. It's only fun when you are stuck in that mentality. When you elevate past that, because I gotta say, when I played professional ball overseas, I was like, man, damn, that college stuff, like, it wasn't shit to me no more. It didn't mean anything to me. I mean, not like that. It means something when you in the newspaper and you get paid to play basketball, and people in the city that you ain't never been before recognize who you are. It's a different level.
Hey, Jay. Hey, look here. But I remember.
Also, Peyton Manning, he did it. Peyton Manning came back and worked out for him.
Hey, Jay, I also remember too when you was giving your analogy at first when you were saying you said about number two main thing is you said that he need more time. I think that you said it just like that, didn't you?
Oh no. I said he needed time, but now I think he's arrived, bro.
Okay, bet. Okay, you could do it. Yeah, I know he arrived. He arrived before he even got there. I know he arrived. I'm just saying, playing wise and physical, but I'm just saying, getting it more years like that, something like that. I thought that's what you was assuming too when you say need more time.
No, I think Shador put his work in. Shador put the
Yeah,
work
but then
in.
we talk about making that step up to the pros and stuff like that. You really don't want to go in too soon, too fast like that. You want to make sure you got everything, all your everything crossed and all that stuff like that. I wouldn't think that he would be making a move too soon. You understand me? But I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't know how to argue against that because then, like I said, that's the decision that he would have to make.
I'm just not a fan of, listen, man, of guys being too
Because I
long.
know he ain't hurting. I understand that. But I know he ain't hurting for nothing. You understand me? So your move, like, based on what you said, well, I heard him go get the bag while the bag is hot. You
That's not what I
understand me?
said, though.
Well, listen. And then I already know, too, if he got sense enough to say, well, look here, I'm comfortable right where I'm at. And I'm good. All I can do is get better. And it ain't going to take long to do that. You understand me? And then while I'm still here, I can still catch the team up and get everybody in. That would be thinking wise and smart, too. Just to go get that bag, because that bag could be bigger next 2 years from now.
Well, let me make this clear. If he was coming out of a destitute situation, to your point,
Right.
I would
That ain't the
definitely
case.
say take your ass in the NFL. So let me be clear. To your point, I would definitely advise that because that check may float by you and you won't have another chance. So since he is already well off, to your point, my
Yeah.
whole thing is about the opportunity though, because you can fall in the draft. It's almost like you give too much film, you give too much chances for failure, and then people gonna start second guessing you. They're gonna be
Hey,
like, oh, why you stay 4 years?
Hey, Jay, if you got it, you got it.
Yeah, I mean that sounds
Okay.
nice,
Yeah,
but what if you get
hey,
hurt?
look,
If you get hurt,
look, it works if you work it, but if you got it, you got it. I'm gonna tell you something. That young man got it. He
yeah,
got it, Jay, and
but
he
what if he
ain't
get
gonna
hurt though?
lose it. Yeah, he ain't gonna lose it in the card game tomorrow.
But what if he get hurt though?
Hey, boy, see, there you go with that. Boy, I'll tell you. What if
I mean,
God
it
come back?
happens.
What if God come back tomorrow night instead of the couple of years from now?
Okay,
And
are
then
you gonna
it'll be
live your
all
life?
over anyway. But that's what
Okay,
I mean.
okay,
Anything can
okay.
happen. I understand that, but I'm just saying. What if
Are you
you
gonna
get?
live your life as if God coming back tomorrow? No, you're not. You're gonna live your
I,
life with common sense and
no,
pay your bills on time.
I live my life as if God is coming back because I know God give me common sense to do such. So
Well,
yeah,
okay.
that's what I do.
But what I mean by that is you're not gonna not pay your bills. You're not gonna not do
No,
the
no,
stuff
no,
you
no,
need to
no,
do.
no, 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 no,
You're like,
no,
oh, well,
no,
I ain't gotta
no.
pay my bills. God coming
That would
tomorrow.
be
I'm good.
ridiculous.
No,
Just be realistic. That would be
I am
ridiculous.
being realistic. That's what I'm saying.
Right. No, he gonna pay his bills. He gonna get paid. Matter of fact, I'm telling you, he might got a check in the mail since we've been speaking.
Okay, but again, that's not my thing though. It's
Yeah,
about
well, right.
overextending your college because college.
Well, you right. That advice you was giving good for a lot of other people, but right now where he at in that situation he in, boy, it'd be wise for him to stick around for a minute, help his family out, just to help his family out.
It's
I would
not.
think. I hear you.
I just want boys to play offense with their talent, and by offense I mean being proactive, not reactive. Because if you're being reactive, you leave
Right.
yourself a chance. Chance can come in and mess your situation up. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Like you said, if he ain't gonna be a top 5, if he a top 5 or top 10, then yeah, he should go for the draft. If he's not offered, then play one more year. You know.
Bingo. Bottom line. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you're not top 10, go on, just give another year. That's it. That's all. I'm not trying to go against you, Young Vern. I'm just saying, like, man, I would hate for him to get some crazy injury because he not built like that. He's kind of a wispy built guy. So I would just hate from some old lineman to roll on his leg and some crazy stuff happening, then he just drop in the draft. I just would hate to see that for him, man.
Yeah, that's true because stuff like that happen in basketball. Like if the guy was off for that, he played one more year, then your draft stock going dropped. You know what I'm saying? Anything can happen.
Facts. It sucks, man, but it's just true, man. So yeah, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news or nothing like that, but man, things happen, bro.
I hear you. It remains to be seen, though. I don't think he'll do it, though. But I'm thinking I know he's gonna have an opportunity to go to the pros after this season. I know. I believe that. I know that, regardless of the point. I know that, and I know, like you said, he'll be in the top 5. He's top 5 quarterback. After they beat USC, he's gonna be the number 1 quarterback. Watch. And that's gonna be in the month of September. Boy, I'm looking forward to this whole month. God give me the strength to be around, boy. AJ, I'm telling you, boy, I'm looking forward to this whole month. He got some dogs ahead of him this month, HJ. Yeah, they got some dogs ahead of them. Yeah.
You gonna watch this game this weekend?
Oh yeah. Watch it this week. I can get Fox. It's gonna be on Fox. I can get Fox on that.
Yeah, Colorado is ranked now. It wasn't ranked before, but now they are.
Yeah, hey, Flight. Flight. It was to a certain. I'm gonna tell you something, Flight. Even I don't know how you seen it, but when you had seen Coach Fry get down there, and he got down there and he talked to those people, them young boys that was on the team before, and he had talked to them and everything. He was talking to them, and he was telling them, look, there's gonna be changes around here and everything else. To a certain extent, he already knew that he already knew that was going to happen because that happened before. It happened with him at Jackson. So he already knew, like, that these people were going to be jumping their heads in water just to get at him. And through the fact, like AJ said, everything is falling in line because right now they got the thing called the portal. And not only do they got the portal, they got them players right now, they can get them NIL deals. And they need to get that. The only way you can get that is to get that publicity. You understand? You could be a 5-star quarterback out there in Alabama and everything else, and wouldn't nobody know you from Jack, Dick, or Adam and stuff because you really ain't getting that kind of pub. So you ain't getting that kind of money. But you got that kind of talent to do something. All that talent gonna start coming to him now because of the way that they can run that portal. They can get players that have been in the league for 2 more years coming up and another year coming up. And at those positions, and then like I don't know if AJ said, well, all they got to do is get big in the trenches, and they coming up on that, especially on the defensive side of it. That's where they really got to come up at because they give them good protection on the offensive line. The defensive line is got weakness down the middle, but that gonna be rectified too. Everything is coming into place. They got players right now. Like you don't know about these players they got coming up right now. These players are dogs. Like they just ain't got on the field yet, and they see where their weaknesses at. They got some players, Flight, believe me, they got some players, and they finna get down. Now, the main ones that got down already, all they gonna do is just improve their game, and there's gonna be some more, Flight. It's gonna be some more. You gonna say, damn, who was the AC dude last year? It's gonna be some more of them, Flight. They got some dogs out there, Flight. They got some dogs. Yeah, and they got a dang good coach. That's all. They doing it out there, though, Flight. It ain't gonna be. And everything with their schedule fall into place. The hardest team for them to beat in their conference is going to be what's his name? Going to be that what's the name? Utah. And then they got the Utah, and then they got them.
They got US. No, they got USC. There's a couple of teams.
USC gonna be a cakewalk. All they gonna, I'm gonna tell you. This is how USC game is gonna turn out. Like, let me tell you how it's gonna turn out. Look, it's gonna be a gunshot. It's gonna be a sling. And it's gonna be no defense to a certain extent. It's gonna be on Colorado's side. But as far as USC, they gonna be, man, dude gonna go butt wild on their receiving side. And this is what's gonna get them in trouble, because look who our corners is. And we got some good young corners, Flight. But look who our corners are. So it ain't gonna be all that slinging and dingling the dude gonna be thinking it is. And USC don't have a running. They got to run. Yeah, they do. They got to. Don't take it back. They got a running game like that, but their defense is jacked. They ain't got no defense. But yeah, it's gonna be a good game. But then Sedura, they know what Sedura is. Hey, Fight, I'm gonna tell you something. Sedura got a girlfriend to go out there. You know what I'm saying? And that dude Caleb, he the talk of the town out there. You understand me? And he got to come to Colorado and deal with that. The girlfriend gonna be in the stands. Oh, I'm telling you, he is gonna have a field day. Field day, believe me, against USC, Southern California. I'm sorry, Flight. It's going to be a massacre. And this is what the best part about it is. That going to finish off that month. So then when that thing come around with them, with that, they ain't going to win no 4 games. That going to be the 4 games right there. Well, no, that going to be the 5th game. I apologize. That going to be the 5th game. So something is going to transpire between those before they get a chance. I don't know what it is. But I know they got 5 games in September. They got 1 out already. So that means they got 3 more games to win. And USC is on that at the 30th of September. That's going to be a nice time. Like, put that money in.
Shout out California.
Shout out California. He go.
Yeah. No, I'm here. Shut up. What's up, Flight?
What you got going on?
Oh man, I'm just chilling. I was just, I saw the Colorado. I heard y'all spoke the other night, man, on the game. I know a lot of people wanted Colorado to lose a few days ago. That was funny. I said they was gonna win. You don't see the hitters on here today, or you ain't gonna, they're gonna show up if Colorado. That's crazy that Colorado don't win this game. That's when the hitters are gonna show up. But we already know that. But I got Colorado to win this game too. I don't see. They can only gonna get better.
Yeah. These days going to go fast. They're going to go real fast. This week going to go real fast. It's already Wednesday.
Well, the game is Saturday.
It's holiday week.
The game is Saturday, right? Yeah.
Okay. Saturday morning on Fox.
Oh shit. Okay. I mean on Fox. Okay. Yeah.
Saturday morning.
Yeah, I got Colorado. Colorado win. Oh, they look like over there another team. They got pretty decent quarterback, but
they got Colorado playing at the crack of dawn. What's going on, huh?
That's why they do it. They used to do that back in the day too. They all because of they what's the name, because of the time zone and stuff they was in like that. But they did that always, even back then when they was doing that. Colorado always was the first game on TV. It was always the first game. I always catch them. That was the only time I watched college football was in Colorado. Wow. And it was always the first game.
Well, probably because it gets too cold out there.
It get cold in the wintertime. It get cold in Chicago the wintertime too. It get cold in New York in the wintertime. What you worried about cold for? What you worried about? You go. Why you want to equate Colorado with cold for? It get cold in New York.
No, I know, but it's certain different. It's different type. No, like Minnesota. That's cold. That's a different level of cold.
That's cold. My cousin stayed in Minnesota, and it's damn cold down there. I said, I don't know how. I told her, I don't know how you can live down there. I said, not me.
Right. That's the different kind of that kind of cold that they got in Colorado. Right. Understand this. It's a humid cold. You could be out. It could be like snowing. It don't blizzard like that. It just snows like that. You could be outside with a winter coat on. You ain't gonna just be around a whole bunch of snow. You ain't gonna, freeze like that because it ain't cold like that.
Hey, Uncle Roy, yeah. In Chicago, we didn't get no snow. Well, we got snow, but we don't get no real heavy snow like we used to, bro. Now, it been like that the last 7 years.
Right. See, we get that drift of snow. They don't
Yeah,
get that. We get drift of snow. They don't
yeah,
get
yeah.
that drift of snow like
Yeah,
that. They don't
the
get drift
last,
of
hey, the
snow.
last time we had a blizzard here, man. The last time we had a blizzard was what 2011.
Yeah.
That's the last time we
Yeah.
had a blizzard, a real blizzard, man. Shit,
Right.
the job shut down that day. Everything
Right.
shut that shit down.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I knew a flight. The flight never get cold in New York. It get
Yeah,
cold.
flight. Yeah, New York get hit hard with snow, especially over there. But they get hit hard with snow. No, that's what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ain't scared. You should be scared of the snow. Get your ass out there and shovel.
Shit. If it snow too bad, you can't get to work. The job might shut down. And shit, you might have to stay at home sometime. If that's a possibility.
Yeah, shoot. Real. You talk about the snow. You get your hand out there and shovel. Yeah. No, but yeah.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. I went to work in the blizzard, but they shut. Like I said, they shut the job down. I said,
Oh yeah.
they shut that down. Like man, we closing it down. I went back to the crib in that blizzard.
Right. Yeah, but they're gonna be a nice game. They're gonna be a nice game against Nebraska. I'm looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it. Yeah, it's gonna be a nice game.
Yeah, they
And I
play
see
against Nebraska.
it being a high scoring game also.
Yeah, Nebraska. That's another place you don't want to be at. It get real cold over there too.
Oh yeah, but they're gonna be playing in Colorado though. And there's gonna be sunshine.
Yeah,
A
it's
lot
gonna be
of people,
sunshine in Colorado.
they play on Saturday, so they're gonna be the sun gonna be shining there. There ain't gonna be no snow.
Hey, you know what? The fans gonna be crazy, man, in Colorado because not only that, because since Denver Nuggets won the championship, some of those fans gonna be at the Colorado game with the football fans too. That's for the team.
Say that again. I ain't catch what you said.
I
Say it
said,
again.
hey, no, I said some of those fans from the basketball when Denver Nuggets won the championship, some of those fans gonna be at the football games with other fans.
Oh
'Cause,
right, yeah,
yeah, so it's gonna be crazy, man. So yeah,
right.
Colorado gonna get that win. So
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. They have the same. They got the same supporters.
yeah,
Yeah.
we got that home field advantage. So that's what's up. Gonna be at home. Yeah.
They're gonna be all right.
Yeah, I'm glad the USC. I seen the bet. I'm glad the US bounced back and got that win, man. Because I know we lost to Luther. What's that? Lithuania. They, got
Well, who won that game? Lithuania won.
Lithuania beat USC, man. It won by like 5.
Oh,
But we
okay. I
can't.
didn't know that.
But we came back. But we came back and got the. They redeemed themselves and got the win. So they gonna be in the semifinals.
Oh, okay, bet. Okay, oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
over with.
Hey, you gotta understand, man. You gotta give it to Lithuania, man. I'm looking at them, man. They have size, bro. They gave. That's why US lost, man. Them guys couldn't hardly get no rebounds over them, man. They have size, so it's a good thing we don't gotta face them again because we face them again, we might get beat again if we had to face them guys, but because they beat us on the boards though.
Hey,
Yeah,
what did they do with that coach out there in Germany, the one that cursed out dude? What they do with him? I thought they was going
I don't know
penalize.
about that. I don't know about that. I had to look it up.
Yeah, I thought they said they was gonna penalize to do something. He was gonna be suspended or something. I don't know what they said. They said something like that. That's what they were talking.
I mean, he did he say something? Did you know if he say anything? He didn't say anything racist or anything like
No,
that, did
they
he?
was talking about they was complaining actually about the way he was talking to him. They was complaining like that.
Oh, because they started crying because I thought he said I thought the way you were saying it, I thought you said like he said something racist because if they do say something racist, all sports are starting to crack down on this stuff now. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because
I know they're making a big deal out of it. I thought they was gonna do something about it. What's the name? Committee. They said something about the committee was supposed to look into it or something. That's what they was saying. So I don't know if
yeah.
made a decision about it or not, but they said something about the committee, so we're looking into it.
Oh, they gonna do something if it was something out the ordinary, like it ain't supposed to be going on. 9 times out of 10, they're gonna have to discipline them, even if they don't want to. They gotta make an example out of them, because if you don't see no making an example out of them, then what message are you sending out there? You gotta make other schools well, or so, also that's cool. They could get it rated. Maybe we can too.
Right, that's a black eye. Give
Yeah.
organization a black eye, because this is an organization to a certain extent.
Right.
This well, it's like it's committed to a certain extent, but like it's like it's it's like the European type thing. It's like Olympics.
Yeah.
They have a lot of people to answer to. Different. That bring in different countries. You understand me? It's an event with different countries, so it's like you got to answer for that. What you tripping on. You having a bad day. Somebody got to ask this man what's going on. Why is he? You know what I'm saying? This caught up in the moment. Some coaches get caught up in the moment, which is understandable. But like you said, you don't want to act like what I'm saying, something you really got a problem really though. To a certain extent like that, because of the fact he ain't cursing out kids. He cursing out who? Grown men. Dude is a grown ass man.
Yeah, you're gonna have to answer that though. They're gonna have to do something, because, hey man, because you gotta understand something. You curse out another man, you got, what I'm saying, you you gotta apologize at some point, because sometimes how the shit get down. Fist gonna get thrown at some point if it's depending on what the person say.
Right,
What I'm saying? So
right. It'd have been an incident if the dude would have turned around and checked him and said, "Look here, hold on, mister, who you think you talking to? Slow that down for a minute. And who is you again? My who?"
I ain't gonna lie to you. It's just like I used to be on a job at FedEx, bro. When the manager start talking shit and get out of hand, hey, bro, I put him to the side, and it came to sometimes I start grabbing collars up in that motherfucker. Like you gonna talk to me like you got some sense? Ain't no kid here. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but right. It only go
Shit,
like
I
that.
got collars, bro. I should have got fired a lot of times, but by me being a good worker, been there for so long, they couldn't do shit, because they know already know.
The dude I'm talking about is that what's the name? That German dude, the one that got the red spot in his head. I can't remember his name. He used to play for the Atlanta Hawks.
Dennis Schroeder.
Dennis Schroeder. You him?
Yeah, Schroeder. Yeah.
Dennis Schroeder. Okay.
Right. That's what I'm talking about. This dude, I know he's from Germany, and I know this coach is all in Germany and all this other stuff. But
yeah, oh man, if he said something, Dennis Schroeder is usually a high head sometimes, man. I'm surprised he didn't go back in his face and do something.
Pull him to the side. Look here, hold on, mister. You know what I'm saying? You gotta check your attitude, boy. But
Right.
first of all, I'd have left up off that court. That's what I'd have did. I'd have went down there and took a break, a real break. I'd have went down to the locker room, got me a break. I'd have left him standing right there looking stupid.
Hey, I was looking at some other stuff on the White House the other day, man. I don't like the way that I think he's the most disrespected player in the NBA. Well, there was an NBA. For them to leave him off that 75, make 75 in the NBA, I'm talking about not him in the NBA top 75. That was some bullshit. This man have a championship. He has a few defensive players of the year. It's a lot of shit, man. Like, and you tell me he couldn't make the top 75? I got a problem with that.
Yeah.
Just like I don't like the way they did Carmelo Anthony to that blackball. And they look like they're trying to blackball the White Howard now. So because the White Howard was trying to come back to the NBA, you know what I'm saying? He got a couple more years in him. You know what I'm saying? But he, that's why he been playing overseas. So yeah, man.
So what you think about Lakers signing Christian Woods for 2 years, one year as a player option?
I think that was the best damn decision they could have made, because now you got a center that could spread the floor. He maybe he could get in and get some boards to take some pressure off of AD instead of them. Because before that signing, I was kind of concerned if they didn't pick up this guy Dex. They would end up using Uchimura to help out AD at the center spot because AD ain't they you don't want AD you don't want AD to bang in there for the whole damn season, then he'd be worn out for the playoffs. They will have to put the pressure on the younger dude that because he's bigger, he's 255, So yeah, but now they got Christian Wood. I don't know Christian Wood, that's a good pickup. And he could shoot the outside shot if a team happen to leave him open.
So, but what about far as playing time though? Do we get the playing time he needs? Because he's kind of a crybaby when it comes to that.
Well, I mean, like I said, I think he's a center, right? So they're gonna have to give him the playing time because they're gonna have to because you don't got Mo Bamba anymore. Yeah, he's gone. They didn't get JaVale McGee when they had a chance. Well, I heard they got some guy that could have got the G League. They didn't get him. DJ Gemini was talking about that the other day. They for some reason the easiest thing to do right now is if they wanted to, if they could put their difference to the size in the LA organization, is get the Dwight Howard back in there. That'd be the answer to the problems if they really want a guy that actually want to be in the hole that wants to bang. But that would have been that. Because if that got him, Dwight Howard, if that was the case, no, yeah, he would got. You better believe he was the guy at least about 25 minutes out there as a you know what I'm saying.
Well, I think Dwight Howard wanted a certain amount of money that the Lakers wasn't willing to pay, so that's why they just moved on from Dwight Howard.
But can you blame him? He made a lot of big defensive players in the year that won the championship. He was blocking shots. He was getting boards. He was doing all the dirty work there. It wasn't for him, bro. They wouldn't have won that championship that year. I'm big honest with that defensive presence.
They had Howard and they had McGee, so it was very tall with Anthony Davis. But the reports is Christian Woods agreed to a 2-year deal with the Lakers. This veteran big man Christian Woods coming off his season with Dallas, in which he averaged 16.6 points and 7.3 rebounds in 67 games played. The free agent big man Christian Wood has agreed to a 2-year deal with the Los Angeles Lakers, and this is reported by ESPN Adrian Wojnarowski.
Wojnarowski, yeah, he normally be the first guy with the information before a lot of others.
And when you look at Christian Woods, he's suitable because he's 6'10". He can play forward or center, 4 or 5, and you might can even slip him in at the 3 because he's swift enough to play a 3. He shoots 51% from the field at least last season, and his 3-point shooting is 36%. So that's a little bit above league average.
36%. 36%. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, for last season. But for his career, he's averaging 14.7 rebounds, and he played for 8 different teams. So he's definitely the definition of a journeyman.
Yeah, you know what though? He's only 25, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's been in the league for some. Yeah. I think he right now he best around the league because I think he said I know his last contract he said a couple of things about the contract. So right now he should be getting no better than minimum right now, but he got to take what he can give based on what he said. So your agent, you know what I'm saying? So you got to take what he can get now. So that's even though it sucks, but you got to take what you can get now.
So now
for LA.
Now you got Rui Hachimura, right? And you have Jackson Hayes.
Yeah.
And now you got Christian Woods.
Right.
So those going to be the reinforcement the Lakers going to have coming into the season.
Hey, Jax, with those other teams, Christian Wood was playing with losing teams. Those other teams that you had mentioned, those teams are all losing teams. Right now, this is to a chance now. He's got a chance to play with a winning team right now. Am I right or am I wrong? I might be mistaken.
Lakers going to be a winning team. And listen, hats off to Rob Pelinka because, the Lakers was pretty busy this off summer. And this might be the last move for the Lakers before they start the season because they locked up Anthony Davis, D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, and Rui Hachimura with extensions, while also they brought in reinforcements in the form of Gabe Vincent, Jerron Prince, and Jackson Hayes, and now Christian Wood. So now the Lakers should be somewhat solidified for their run to the Western Conference Finals.
Right, yeah, because they already know they had a feeling that this might be LeBron's last 2 seasons or maybe one more season, depending on how LeBron feels. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because as we all know, LeBron does have a little minor injury, but he's gonna play. He's gonna play through it. He's gonna like he always he's gonna play through it. So he's gonna be fine. So.
And with breaking news, we're reporting injury in the Pelicans roster. Murphy the third, Trey Murphy the third, the sharpshooter, has been injured. He hurt his meniscus doing workouts, and we're going to see how he recovers from that when it comes to the season. Because Trey Murphy the third, who blossomed in the second season, basically damaged his left knee today while training at the team headquarters. So he did this while training with the Pelicans.
Damn, bro.
So that's gonna hurt the Pelicans coming in.
What you guys eating, man? I mean, what's the broccoli and the carrots and hey, man, shit. Well, it shouldn't be breaking down like that. Exercise, but okay, yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's only September, so you got 2 months. Well, you got 2 months, a little over 2 months to get it together. So if they starting this to be happen, whatever they need to do right away, he should be fine.
And the severity of the injury is not immediately clear. Murphy is expected to receive additional examination in coming days. We listen. We know that Trey Murphy was a big time sharpshooter who, amongst the New Orleans top 3-point shooters, who averaged 14 points per game. That's good. And in the second season, because we know he's drafted 17 overall out of Virginia and 21. And Murphy worked his way into a regular role by the end of his rookie season and started 65 games last season and played in 67, which he averaged about 31 minutes per game. But the thing about Murphy is that he stretches the offense and he gives players the opportunity to operate within the 3-point line, from baseline to the 3-point line. And the Pelicans going to need that because they're going to miss that 41% from 3-point range if he's not able to return in the beginning of the season come the start of the season. And then you got to mention that we don't know how serious it is. Will he be available for the play-in tournament? So the severity of his recovery time is dependent on how severe he is injured.
41%. Damn, he's the best shooter on the team. Then ain't nobody else on the Pelican shoot 41% from outside.
Not too many people in the NBA shoot 41%.
I mean, the exception of Steph Curry shoot 44% from outside. The exception of Steph Curry.
Yeah, so that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt New Orleans.
It was meniscus. Like I said, we know about as an athlete. I know about injury. I never got my meniscus. I never have. Basketball. I only had ankle injury, but for the meniscus, shit, that never happened because. Hey, as a ball player, I believe they're working all SC when I was coming up. So you were probably older than me when we was coming up. I was thinking about working. I was told work all aspects of your body. I started off as a swimmer, so by the time I came to play basketball and stuff, and track, my body was already. I was already ready. So when you go to work out, man, some guys, some of these guys only work out certain parts of the muscle. You got to work on all your muscle, your upper body and your lower body. Everything should be equally strengthened in those areas.
Right. Yeah. So you can have equal distribution to your weight. Yeah.
I mean, that's why. Much as I like Lonzo Ball, when he first came in, and I was saying this back then. I said this dude need to work on his not just his upper body but your lower body. Because I used to call him I used to say he got chicken legs, bro. Like how can your upper body be strong and your lower body be strong? I mean, what I'm saying? Plus I used to talk about this with guys that I play ball with. I said, bro, you strong as hell up top, but what about your legs? If you go for a dunk and you come back, you might pull some shit then because your legs ain't strong. Because you ain't been putting the work into your legs. You know what I'm saying?
His leg,
Yeah.
his legs were strong. He had a 36 to a 38-inch vertical. I mean, that's strong, bro.
I mean, hey, Lonzo Ball, he could jump out the gym. I mean, we know this, but just imagine if he have his lower body strong like his upper body. The legs need to be strong. He need, hopefully, you know what I'm saying, doing his rehab. I'm hoping that all this has been addressed.
Right there.
You
Well,
know,
okay,
all this has been addressed because they need to
like
be addressed.
we already know that he suffered from what, a meniscus tear, and I think that don't think that's something to do with your cartilage.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, all the weightlifting and all the running and everything else in the world ain't gonna really too much strengthen up that cartilage like that. What that is, protein and stuff like that. Those are nutrients. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's just not running around and go strengthen those things. Actually, that running around and stuff, it actually will mess them up even more so because it's pressure.
Like I said, that's something that you got to work out from the beginning. Like, I mean, if you don't
Right.
start, something that you got to strengthen up over time. Though, if you didn't get strengthened, that's something. Like I said, in basketball, you want to make sure not just you just don't want to work on one thing. You got to work on all parts of your body, your not just your upper body, but your lower body, because your lower body is you got that's part of the game. You got
You
to
right.
how you gotta move about that.
No, you right. You right. You right. You
Yeah,
got
yeah.
to like
I
you said,
mean,
you
I'm
got to
just
be
saying,
concerned about both of them. Yeah, you got to be concerned
you
about
got, you
both of
got,
them.
you know what I'm saying. Like I said, I was a ball player, hooping. And I didn't believe in just working on my upper body. I worked my lower body too, so everything be equally strong.
Yeah.
So I did that, and so I had less injuries. you know,
Right.
I got that worst injury I ever had was ankle injury, ankle surgery. I had to get surgery on. That's the worst injury I ever had. Other than that, the little ankle sprains I get, little minor sprains. That's nothing. But also you gotta stretch out before the game, stretch out and everything. I believe in stretching out too, part of the exercise too. Yeah.
Hey, Dex, you still on?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Hey, Dex,
Yeah.
look here. I saw Kid Austin and his father was on live today on one of the boxing shows. He got that little scar up under. He got that little mouse up under his eye. Did you hear me?
Kid Austin.
Yeah, the boxer, Kid Austin.
Yeah, yeah. He's a beast, man.
Yeah, he'll
I don't
be.
know I don't know when the next fight gonna be, man. But but
His
whoever he
father
facing.
said. His father said they try to get something scheduled for October. This coming October, sometime in October. He was supposed to fight against that dude Jojo Diaz, but he chickened out. He's one of the go to boys fighter too.
No. It's another dude right now, man. That's on 40-0. They try to compare him to Mayweather, but you can't compare nobody to Mayweather though. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this dude 40. I forgot. I just seen him today, man. I forgot his name. But he's 40-0 right now. He's supposed to be the best. Now the best pound for pound. Boxer. BSC. He's 40-0 right now. So I forgot who. I don't know if y'all know who I'm talking about, but watch out for him. That's another guy.
And what weight is he
I
fighting
think
at?
he's I think he's like 147 between 140 the one between the 135 and 147 class.
Oh, okay. You ain't talking
So
about Boost Ennis?
yeah, he's 40-0, man. I'm trying to think. I think he's in 100
Oh,
147. I'm trying to think about that. I'm trying to
you
think
talking
about
about
that.
Crawford? Crawford.
I'm trying to think. What's that?
I think
What's
Crawford
that?
is
What's that? What's
one of
that?
the number
It
one.
ain't the. Also, I'm trying to think about that.
Yeah.
147 class. Yeah. I just seen him, man. Dude, 40-0, man. Got no
Okay.
losses.
All right.
know what I'm saying?
They fight the same way.
Yeah, he 40. He got no losses, man. This dude is a beast. He 40-0, no losses. That. I mean, that tell you something.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mayweather is 50-0. He got the. They didn't like the fact he broke Rocky Marciano back because Rocky Marciano was 49-0.
Yeah.
That was the.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Long time ago. That was way before my time.
That was before my time. Yeah. But I was the night with Sugar Ray Robinson was fighting.
Yeah, but you know what? Next, I was looking back at all the fights, bro. Like I got a chance to see. I was probably young, but I see Marvin Hagler fall probably in the later and maybe in the later parts of it. And you know what, man? I look at them fight. Marvin Hagler got cheated out a couple of fights, man. Like he went to do movies after that. Cause I remember even a good Sugar Ray Leonard, man. And, Marvin Hagler that time just got the best of him. Got the best of him, you know what I'm saying? Do you know he still ended up losing that fight anyway? And Marvin Hagler couldn't believe it. Marvin Hagler was a beast, man. People don't give him enough respect.
Yeah, I already know.
Yeah. Marvin Hagler was, bro. That dude got hands. That dude can box, bro. And when he beat you, bro. And when I saw that fight against Sugar Ray Leonard, man.
Yeah.
He whooped. Hey, you probably saw the fight. He whooped Sugar Ray Leonard's ass, bro. He whooped that. He whooped Sugar Ray Leonard's ass. I never seen Sugar Ray get whooped like that, but for some reason Sugar Ray still ended up winning. And I thought, damn, Marvin Hagler won this fight, but since he got did you know after that fight, Marvin Hagler didn't even box no more because he knew it was bullshit.
I seen Sugar Ray Leonard get beat 2 times. That's what's the name dude? Winfrey Benitez.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah,
I ain't never.
Winfrey Benitez got that.
No, Wilford Benitez didn't beat Sugar Ray Leonard.
He didn't.
No. You talking about Roberto Duran? He beat Sugar Ray.
Yeah, I already know what that though. Fight. I thought
Marvin Hagler beat him too, but they gave the fight to Sugar Ray though.
Ain't that Benitez the same one that was going with Sugar Ray Leonard's sister or sister-in-law or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but he didn't win that. Sugar Ray beat Wilford Benitez.
I know that. Yeah, okay. Right. I know Sugar Ray Leonard won the fight, but he didn't win that fight. That's my point. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's my point.
Yeah.
He got ass whooping that fight, but he won though.
Marvelous Marvin Hagler beat his ass, but that guy that cheated the man, and that man said, "Fuck it, he retired, didn't start doing movies."
Yeah.
So,
man, good though.
He was good, but he was good, but there's times where he got his ass whooped by one of the best boxers, and you tell me, hey.
Ooh. Hey, who won that fight between Hearns and Hagler?
Hagler
won, man.
Hagler beat the shit out of Hearns.
Okay, I thought so.
Yeah, man.
Hey, you got like 2 rounds, right? But Sugar Ray went the distance with Hagler.
Hey, you guys older than me, man. I even seen the documentary of Marvin Hagler, man. That dude was a boxer, bro. That dude was a beast, bro. A lot of people don't give him respect. I think he's up there with one of the greats.
Hey, they said Hagler and Hearns was the best 2 rounds in the history of boxing.
Yeah.
It was a slugfest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they said Muhammad Ali was the greatest fighter of all, the greatest. But I don't know if I can say that because I believe another guy. I think Joe Louis was one of the great. But I could say George Foreman, but George Foreman came along a little later.
You gotta say Muhammad Ali because of the fact of what he accomplished.
Yeah, what he accomplished though in general. And, you know what I'm saying? Before that, man, and even when I seen the documentary back in the day, when even against Sonny Liston, I thought Sonny Liston was a hell of a dude. I thought Sonny Liston was about to mob him though out there.
Yeah, no.
Sonny Liston was a hell of a boxer too back in his day.
It's like it's like this, okay? We get as you notice, we always get a lot of good boxers and stuff like that. But usually the good boxers be the ones to be, to a certain extent, not just be the hungry ones, you know. It usually be the ones to be the dedicated ones because you have to stick to a certain program, and then when you get out that regiment, it starts showing in your athleticism and your abilities, and then you burn out real fast. A lot of them burn out real fast. You understand me? And then you got some that just last years and years. You know, they might be in the fight game 10, 20 years.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Hey,
that's something right there that's hard to do.
it's another dude I used to like, and I used to watch on box coming out. Parnell Whitaker. I was like a teenager. That dude was like damn near like Mayweather before Mayweather. He duck and dodge and change up and stop, man.
Yeah, Sweet Pea. I already know. Yeah, you right.
Sweet Pea. I seen that. I said, man, that dude was cold, man.
Yeah, I already know. Yeah. Yeah, but if you got it, you got it. A lot of them ain't got it though, and that's why you be getting a lot of the fighters that nowadays they running.
Hey, you know who they don't talk about though? But he was undefeated. Riddick Bowe. Nobody even no smoke with him in the 90s. I remember that dude. Say, man, this is a big dude, but this dude got hands. I was like, Riddick Bowe. You see a documentary on him? He was undefeated. But I mean, yeah, he was undefeated. I mean, he got hit below the belt against Tom Gugigala. He could have won that fight, but he kept on hitting him below.
What's his name? Didn't beat Riddick Bowe one time? Holyfield?
No, he was you know what? No, it didn't.
I thought Holyfield beat him one time.
No, unanimous decision. You right, because I saw Then the next time they fought. Now they fought 3 times. Riddick Bowe won twice.
Right.
One time. Hey, yeah, but the third time they fought, man, they stopped the fight, man. Man, Riddick Bowe, man, about to knock him out the ring. I was like,
but hey, remember that person landed in the ring?
Yeah,
it was some dude that was on
that air thing. He landed
He parachute.
Yeah, sure did.
He parachuted in the middle of the ring. Because Riddick Bowe was on the rope. Holyfield was putting hands on him. And then that dude parachuted in the ring and gave Riddick Bowe some more time to rest. And then, it was curtains with Holyfield.
Yeah.
Riddick Bowe got that second win, and it was over with.
Yeah.
Hey, because Riddick Bowe, good as Riddick Bowe was, he was a little bit lazy. He was a little bit lazy.
I'm sorry, they beat the dog mess out of dude too that ran it up in that ring. They beat
they beat his ass, bro. Oh, they beat his ass.
They beat him to a pulp. They beat him to a pulp.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. And Minister Farrakhan was sitting in front row for that fight, that Riddick Bowe fight in Holyfield.
Oh, okay.
Sure was. And that's what really made it a threatening thing. It's like, what the hell?
Hey, Riddick Bowe was so cold back then. That said Mike Tyson didn't want no smoke with him. That said nobody.
Mike Tyson was in jail, wasn't he?
Hey, I think he was in jail. I think he got locked up.
He was in jail when the Riddick Bowe was doing his thing.
Yeah. He was in jail for something else. For something
I think like a violation or something, right? It was a violation. He got into it with somebody at a traffic stop or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Like a road rage or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Riddick Bowe, he was putting hands on people. Even Ray Mercer had a nice little run for a minute.
Yeah.
Ray Mercer was, he was pounding on people too.
Yeah. But Riddick Bowe, man, I never seen him do it at that size, boy. That dude has some.
Michael Moore, you remember Michael Moore?
Oh yeah, Michael Moore.
He beat. Who did he beat? Did he beat Ray Mercer? Did Michael Moore beat Ray Mercer? And then he went into the. Or did he beat Holyfield?
He beat Douglas. He beat Douglas. He got the belt from Douglas.
Oh, he beat Douglas, and then what's your name? Beat the brakes off of Michael Moore. Man, George Foreman.
George Foreman, George Foreman put hands.
Man, he beat the brakes off Michael Moore. Man, he was like, what the hell?
Yeah, he beat Buster.
George Foreman was throwing them haymakers. That was slow, but they was impactful.
Yeah.
Hey, them punches hurt.
Oh my God, Michael Moore, that ended his career. You know that, right? Yeah, George Foreman ended that man's career. He lumped him up so much.
Yeah.
Michael Moore said, "I'm done with boxing. I made my money."
Who beat him and got who? So George Foreman beat him and got the belt.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, George Foreman beat him and got the belt. Man, he put hands on him. He was all lumped up.
Yeah.
He lumped up the kid. Michael Moore was young. George Foreman was old, man.
How did George Foreman lose the belt?
He lost to He lose to Holyfield?
That made him retire, though. I believe he got that fight.
George Foreman either lost to Holyfield or Razor Ruddock. One of them two.
But that made them retire. I think they did that so George Foreman could sit down.
No, but them youngsters, that was too much for George Foreman, man. Because what's the name?
You right. He lost to Holyfield.
He lost to Holyfield.
Yeah, Holyfield. Yeah.
Yeah,
because I think he was supposed to fight Razor Ruddock, and I think I don't know what happened there, but they let Holyfield get the shot.
Yeah,
and then Razor Ruddock had to fight Mike Tyson when he got out.
Right. Hey, but you know he was supposed to fight against Lennox Lewis. He said, Lennox Lewis, why you come fight me? That's when Riddick Bowe was still boxing. Said Lennox Lewis supposed to be the badass. He said, man, come fight me. He said, he come. Hey, Riddick Bowe was he was talking smack. He was like, you pussy, fight me.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, them days was crazy at boxing right there, man.
Yeah. Man. Boxing have been, exciting like that lately, man.
Cause you had Razor Ruddock putting up noise. You had Frank Bruno. So a lot of them dudes were the shield before Holyfield.
Roy Jones.
No, I'm talking about the heavyweight. I'm talking about the heavyweight. When the heavyweight was dominating, yeah. The heavyweight was dominating, yeah.
It was another dude, but he disappeared. Sam Mitchell, that was a big heavyweight. 300-pound dude pounding on Mars for a minute. I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, you had what's the other guy they called the champ? He was talking a lot of shit too. I think Mike Tyson beat him already. Had beat him. I can't think of this dude's name, man. As soon as I say his name, you're gonna remember. But he's still in good shape and everything right now.
You talking about Mike Tyson went up against a big dude because this dude was a monster. He was.
Yeah, what is this dude's name, man? Not Bone Crusher. I ain't talking Bone Crusher.
Yeah, but this was.
What is this guy name, man? Briggs. Yeah, Briggs. Shannon Briggs.
Oh yeah,
y'all remember Shannon Briggs?
Yeah, I remember.
I think he out of New York. Shannon Briggs. He out of New York too. And him and Mike Tyson always have little words because both of them out of New York. You know what I'm saying? Shannon Briggs, the champ. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It was a white dude that was supposed to be a good boxer too, but he just fizzled out, man. Tommy Morrison. Tommy Morrison. Yeah. Tommy Morrison.
That's what Ray Mercer punished. Remember, Ray Mercer beat the life out of that dude.
Yeah.
Knocked them all out the ring. Because Tommy Morrison had nice size. You know what I'm saying? He was looking like the Incredible Hulk in the ring. And Ray Mercer just beat the pope out of that kid.
I don't think Tommy Morrison took his workouts seriously as he should have. I think he could have been better, but he didn't take his workouts seriously.
I think Tommy Morrison was more propped up than anything.
Right. Yeah.
He was fighting really underwhelming boxers. Right. He propped them up. He was beating up on them bum black dudes. And so, white folks got excited. And then when he got in the ring with a real boxer, he damn near lost his life. Well, he was like, thank God that man didn't kill me.
Yeah. Hey, because at one time that was trying hoping that he could win. That was trying to get him box Tyson, bro, but he couldn't get past some other dudes.
Right. He couldn't get, because he fought Ray Mercer and then he fought somebody else and he lost, and that was it. It was like, okay, you done.
Yeah, he done, man, because I'm glad he didn't go against nobody like Tyson or the Riddick Bowe. Riddick Bowe would have put them hands on him so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, man. See, boxing starting to be exciting a little bit again. I mean, it ain't really been the same in boxing since like people like Floyd Mayweather retired. He's still boxing overseas.
We're about to get up out of here. We're gonna pull back up tomorrow.
All right.
All right. Salute.
Shout out to everybody who pulled up tonight, man. We're gonna be back tomorrow. Check us back at 9:30 tomorrow. It's Flight Sports TV. Peace and love.
Flight Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.